All right. All right. What's going on, everybody? What's happening? What's happening? It's your boy BOJ. We are here. Good morning, everybody. It's 10:15 a.m. Hope everyone can hear me clearly, can see me clearly. Thank you all for tuning in with us today. We have a very, very special episode, and I don't want anybody to miss it. So y'all go ahead and tune in. If you got to share this with somebody, share it with somebody. We're going to have Coach Rashid on with us today, and we're so honored to have him. And we're going to be having him on in about 15 minutes. So I want to give everybody a chance to get on. All right. We got 2 people watching. For those 2 people watching, go ahead and hit that like button. The more that like button gets hit and pressed, the more opportunity we have to reach more people. So we want to reach as many people as we can this morning. We are honored to have Coach Rashid on today. We're going to be talking about a few things, and we're going to talk about some new opportunities, some older opportunities, you know, his successes, his failures in this space. It's just going to be a great conversation. So you don't want to miss it. Go ahead and tap in, hop in. If you got to share this link with somebody, go ahead and do that. I know on the West Coast where he is, it is still 7:16 a.m. So I understand. All right, some people are going to have to catch the replay. But for those that can get on with us live today, we are going to be live. We are going to be live. If anybody's watching, let us know where you're watching from in the comment section. We love to know where people are watching from. Lambo Drew, I already knew you was going to be in the building. Shout out to my guy Lambo Drew joining us early this morning from the West Coast. Shout out to Lambo. We got 5 people watching right now. For those 5 people, go ahead and hit that like button. I'm going to do a little short thing on Instagram just really quickly, let people know, hey, look, we're getting on. All right, we are getting on. We are getting on. Y'all let us know where you're tuning in from. We got 6 folks watching. Go ahead and hit that like button if you haven't already. If you haven't already, come on, come on. What's going on, everybody? We're going live. We're about to be live on, well, we're actually live right now on YouTube. So don't miss it. 10:30, we're going to have Coach Rashid on. You don't want to miss Coach Rashid. He's going to be bringing a lot of game about this space. We're going to be talking about some new opportunities, some older opportunities. We're going to talk about a few things. So go ahead and join us. Let us know where you're joining in from when you get in here, all right? We'll see y'all in the room. YouTube, find us, BANKOFJHAROL. Y'all know where. I ain't hard to find. I'm like Dion, right? I'll see y'all there. What's going on, everybody? We got 11 people watching. Lambo says definitely stoked about this one. Denver is in the building. Yes, sir. Denver is definitely in the building. Shout out to Denver. Jesse Lamborn. Shout out to Jesse Lamborn. UK is also in the building. Thank you guys for tuning in with us this morning. We are so excited to have Coach Rashid on. One of the most important things about this space that I'm learning is the fact that some people may use me for third-party credibility and motivation and many things, but I'm not the only one out here. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people out here that are doing amazing things, and we're not all doing the same things, but sometimes we're doing the same things. But the beauty of it all is we're all a united front, right? We all understand this space. We all have high hopes for this space, and we all have high aspirations for ourselves and our communities. So it's always a blessing to be able to come together and share some information with each other, and go live and share this with the world. Lambo Drew says we coming all 2023. Hey, man, we coming all 2023 and 2024 and beyond. It's already here. We already think about 24. We already getting our books ready for 24, y'all. Listen, that's an amazing space. I'm so glad to be here as a member of it. And Coach Rashid is another member of this space. OG, as far as I'm concerned, has been around longer than me, y'all. You may not believe it, but there are people that have been around in this space much longer than me, have been doing things and learning at this high level for such a long time. For those of you that are watching, you got 11 people watching right now. Go ahead and press that like button. That like button allows us to be shared and seen by much more people, all right? So as more people hit the like button, we got more opportunity to be broadcasting to the masses, and this is something that I don't want anybody to miss. Of course, there will be a replay. You know what I'm saying? You can always go and catch the live in the live section of our videos. But it's always great to just catch it live while you can, right? We got 15 people watching. Go ahead and hit that like button and let me know in the comment section where you are tuning in from. We got Jeff from South Florida is in the building. Shout out to Jeff from South Florida. Appreciate you joining us, Jeff. We are so excited this morning to have such a special guest with us. He's going to be joining us in about 10 minutes, a little more than 10 minutes, all right? So grab your popcorn. If you eat popcorn this early in the morning, get your breakfast, get your cereal, get your milk, whatever you got to get. We got 15 people watching now. I need all 15 of y'all hit that like button, all right? Make sure you hit it, because the more that like button gets hit, the more opportunity that we have to be able to share this with the world. And we're so excited this morning. We don't usually do this morning live, or this early morning live, but Lambo, you funny. Nobu. Hey, listen. Lambo, you are something else. I can already tell. You giving me the energy I need this morning. And I know you earlier than me. You out there getting it. Shout out to Secure Your Future Passive Plays. Big vibes. Amari is in the building. Shout out to Amari. Now, this is the Amari that I think it is. This is a heavy hitter, y'all. I'm telling you right now, there's not a lot of people around my age bracket doing things like we doing it. And he's definitely one of them. If this is the Amari I'm thinking about, I think this is the Amari I'm thinking about. But shout out to you, Amari. Either way, keep doing your thing. Keep helping people secure the bag, and keep motivating people in this space. Listen, we got 15 people. I need 15 likes. Come on, y'all. Come on. The voice of the Lord. One. Oh, that's a heavy name there, Marvin, from Gainesville, Florida. Shout out to Gainesville, Florida. Thank you for joining us today. We got some folks from Florida tuning in. All right. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Somebody teach the kids from Michigan. Hey, somebody's got to teach the kids, and I hope it's you. I hope you out there teaching the kids. Hey, man, I'm glad to hear it's you. Secure the Future Passive Plays. Hey, man, I appreciate the kind words, bro. I'm just doing the best that I can. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, we all the GOATs. We all are the pillars of our communities, man, and it's up to us to keep people motivated. It's up to us to keep people understanding what the real is of this space, and to keep on pushing ourselves. You know, it gets tough sometimes, but we just got to keep pushing. And we were made for a time such as this. I believe that. We were made for a time such as this, brother. We got 16 people watching. Come on, let's get 16 likes on that like button. Y'all know what the like button does. I've been talking about it all morning. We have Coach Rashid. He's going to be joining us in about 8 minutes, y'all. And this is big, all right? It's funny because I actually just met Coach Rashid personally, all right? I've already known Coach Rashid. We've had many conversations over the years, but just to be able to meet him and shake his hand and have a good conversation with him and the rest of our crew down there. And we had a little crew down there in Georgia. I'm not going to lie to you. We had a little crew, and we were sprinkled from all over the states and all over the world. So this is just awesome for it to come together this way. Lambo Drew says Coach Rashid and BOJ about to drop 10 hours of, hey, bro, listen, I'm going to just stop that comment right now. We ain't got 10 hours of straight heat for y'all. I promise you. We ain't even got half of 10 hours of straight heat. Matter of fact, just seeing 10 hours on there just made me dehydrated. It just made me I need to go grab the water real quick. Matter of fact, I might need to grab two, Lambo, the way you talking about 10 hours. We ain't got 10 hours for y'all. I promise you we will not be going 10 hours. But I also promise y'all we will stay hydrated during this time. Amen. We got 22 people watching. Come on, let's get 22 likes. I know we can do it. And I know this community can make it happen for us. We got about 7 minutes till we have Coach Rashid join us. And you know, we like to start on time. We like to try to get things going on time. You know what the narrative usually is about skin folk like myself. You know, we be on our own time. But you know, when I post 10:30, I try to mean 10:30. You know what I'm saying? So I come in a little bit early. And Coach Rashid, he's a military guy, so I know he's on it. He is on it. Lambo Drew says, already got my breakfast, lunch, and dinner ready. Marathon vibes. Well, listen, if you got all that ready, might as well get your weight bench or your whatever you do your cardio on. You might as well go ahead and get your favorite TV show lined up so you can watch it on the side. You know what I'm saying? Just to have a little something else going on. Or maybe not. You might be tuned in for all 10 hours, Lambo. I know you be tuned in for the whole 10. So, you know, because you've done about 8.5 yourself. Crypto Kempire is in the building. Shout out to Crypto Kempire. Thank you for joining us. Another giant in this space, y'all. If y'all have not followed Crypto Kempire, make sure y'all go and do that. And Crypto Kempire, I'm saying this now because I'm speaking it into existence. I don't know when, but I know how. We got to get you on the show so that you can share your journey and your story with the world, because you're another giant in this space, and I've always looked to other people and watch their channels, especially along my journey, whether if it was for just a little bit of motivation, whether it was just for a little bit of insight on something I may be looking into, anything. I always look to other YouTubers, and I don't say much, but I'm always paying attention. So I appreciate you, Kempire, for your presence in this space. You deserve your flowers. And I'm getting like Lambo. I'm getting like Lambo. You got to give people their flowers while you can, man, because life's too short and there's too much crazy stuff going on in this world. You got to give people their flowers while you can. Rob Gerber's in the building. Enjoy watching from Wisconsin. That's right, and he's got the cheese in there. Hey, Rob, are you a cheesehead? I'm a football fan, so I got to ask if you're a cheesehead. You know what I'm saying? Us Washington fans can talk a little bit of smack to Packers fans only because we've beaten y'all every now and then. But shout out to you guys, and thank you for tuning in to the channel today. We got 23 people watching live right now. We got about 5 minutes until we have Coach Rashid on. I promise y'all we will not be on 10 hours. I even promise y'all we won't be on 5, but it's going to be a jam-packed, action-packed conversation. We're going to talk about some new things, some old things, some journey things, and just general conversation. And y'all know us. If you know Coach Rashid, you know he can talk. If you know me, you know I can talk. All right, so we're going to get into it. Lambo Drew says, man, we did 5 hours on mine. We're averaging 4 hours each show with Coach. Listen, I ain't trying to one-up you today. I am not trying to one-up you today at all. I promise you, Lambo. All right. And for those who have not followed Lambo Drew, listen, y'all need to make sure y'all get over there and follow Lambo Drew. I think Lambo's got more followers than me now. I think he's just about surpassed me. He hit 20,000 other day, and I'm just like, man, he's just shooting up. Like, and this ain't a competition. Sometimes it gets a little bit friendly competition behind the scenes. But showing all love to Lambo Drew. He tackles so much on his show, from motivation to mindset to ministry to finances to, just so much, man. So thank you for your presence in this space as well. Attract All Things says, Chris is here. What's up, Chris? Thank you for joining. Chris with a K is in the building. Rob Gerber says, the Packers. I had a feeling when I saw that cheese, I was like, somebody's a cheese head. Lambo Drew says, I love, let's see, I see you, Crypto Kempire. We love you. Definitely flowers given, bro. That's right. We got to give our flowers while we can. Listen, we got about 3 minutes until we have Coach Rashid joining us today. For those of you that don't know who Coach Rashid is, he is another giant in this space, ladies and gentlemen. And followers and subscribers don't quantify whether you're a giant or a GOAT in this space. There are many people that have way more followers than us, but don't have the impact that Coach Rashid has. And we're so blessed to have him on today. We're going to talk about a lot of different things. Smithology Project is in the building, tuning in. Good morning, y'all. Looking forward to this live. Hey, appreciate you, Pops. I appreciate you tuning in with us this morning. My Pops and my mother are traveling, so y'all give your traveling mercies. Spread it out. Spread some positive vibes out to them this morning as they are hitting the road in the country. All right. And while you're down there, say hello to all the family, Pop. Tell them I miss them, I love them, and everything that I'm doing here so that we can continue to build down there. All right. Kempto Kempire says, Lambo, all love. That's right. It's all love in the building today. You got to love it. Listen, we got 2 more minutes till Coach Rashid is going to be on with us. Now, we don't want to bring Coach Rashid in and not show him some love. So if we can get 20 likes before Coach Rashid gets in here, I know there's 21 people watching. If you have not liked this video yet, go ahead and like this video, because what that does for us, it allows us to get this out to more people, all right? It's already been working since we've been live this morning. BOJ, all love. BOJ, go. Hey, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I wish I had like a little goat thing on here, but we're just going to clap it up for now, right? We're excited. We got 23 people watching, y'all. You don't want to miss it. I'm telling you. I'm getting my sips of water in now, because what's about to go down, I don't think y'all are even really ready. I don't think you really understand. There's going to be a huge problem that is going to be hopefully resolved in a certain sense as we talk about what we're going to talk about today. And I'm excited to be able to talk about that. Lambo Drew says, hey, I see you, Pops, at the Smithology Project. Love Pops and my Dukes traveling. Yes. Shout out to Mom and Pop. They out there doing their thing. Lambo Drew showing love to the parents. And safe travels to them as they journey on this morning. All right, y'all. It's 10:29. It's getting about that time. We got 16 likes. Come on. I know we can get to 20. Come on. Y'all help me out. Go ahead go ahead and get that like in. Go ahead and hit that like button if you can. We got 23 people watching now, and we're so excited to bring Coach Rashid on. He's going to be joining us any second now. It is officially 10:30, and as soon as I see his name pop up in the link here, and I want to make sure that all my communications have that we are on the same page, because I have been talking to you guys for the last 15 minutes, you know. Just make sure we're all good. While we're waiting, go ahead and let us know where you're tuning in from this morning. Let us know where you're tuning in from. City, state, country, Providence, region, wherever. Whatever you want to shout out in the comment section, feel free to do it now. Just got a notification that he is logging in now, so we are so excited. We're about to get this thing cracking, y'all. We're about to get it cracking now when Coach Rashid comes in here. Y'all got to show him some love, all right? Carl Eric B. Mills says, many blessings unto everyone with continued prosperity in all your endeavors from today and beyond. Positive message from Carl Mills. Shout out to you, Carl. Appreciate you. I sees, hello, brother BOJ. I see, nice to meet you, brother. At Georgia, nice to meet you. Man, that was so awesome. Shouting in from Utah. Gotta love it. Hey, Lambo, you know I'm getting my sips in now. Can't be dehydrated. Tracy from Philly is in the building. Shout out to Tracy. Shout out to Tracy. Listen, we got Rashid is joining us right now. Y'all ready? Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? We about to find out. Let's get on Coach Rashid in the building. Let's see. Coach, I believe Coach is in the building. Coach, can you hear me? And can you see me? I know you're getting your video and audio together, but as soon as you can, let me know, my brother. We're all in here. We're excited to hear from you. I'm getting my water in because I don't want to be dehydrated. For some reason, Lambo thinks that this is going to be a 10-hour marathon. Coach, can you hear me?
Okay. Hey, man. I had to get my speakers, and I don't know, man. Zoom just does that to me, man, every time. It plays tricks on me.
It's all good. It's a learning process. It's a process in itself, and we can see you and hear you clearly. Can you see me and hear me clearly, brother?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. I see you. I hear you. I've been logged in over here on YouTube, and I'm like, oh man, don't mess with me today, Zoom.
Now let me make sure that the community can see and hear you clearly. Now, y'all, let me know in the chat if you can see Coach Rashid clearly. Can you hear him clearly before we get started? Because we don't want you to miss a second of this, y'all. So let me know in the comment section. And as the comments come in, brother Rashid, how are you doing this morning?
Man, it's early on the West Coast, man. I'm having to sip this tea because it's burning my lips, because I'm like, oh man, I gotta get it. I don't want BOJ thinking I'm sleeping on the job.
Oh no, man. I know you're never sleeping on the job. That's what I know about you. You know what I'm saying? So we're not worried about that at all. And it looks like everyone can see and hear you clearly, man. I appreciate you so much for joining us this morning. I know it's early on your side. But as we were talking this week, we realized we've got a lot of stuff that we got to share, and we got to do it quickly because some of it is time sensitive. All right. So yes, sir. Because of that, we wanted to make sure that we can get this information out to the people. But before we get into that information, some people in our community at BOJ may not know who you are. Some people in your community may not know who I am. So we're going to start with you. And I'm gonna say less about myself, and then we'll get into the nooks and crannies of everything. But Coach Rashid, take it away, brother.
Oh my goodness! Wow. Well, no, you're right. You know, we out here doing our thing, and every day I think we have new people that do decide to show up and follow us and listen. And I love to have, you know, somebody say, hey, I've been watching you for a while, and you know, now they all of a sudden are in my Telegram group and so on and so forth. It's a work in progress. So, you know, what you see right now literally took years to get to. Yeah. But no, it's been great, man. I sit here and I was going through some of the notes in the chat on my phone. I was like, Man, Lambo, man. Look, Lambo, we are not doing a marathon here, bro.
Now you knew Lambo was gonna have something to say. You
So that's
knew it.
good stuff.
I knew it.
It's all love, man. That's what's so beautiful about the
Yep,
community, man. People show up, and
that's right.
so yeah, I mean, and like I said, I'm not gonna go through it too much, and I rarely really talk about, any history that I have. But I do want to say that when I say Coach Rashid, right, and a lot of people, you hear that term sometime, coach. I actually do have a certification through a Tony Robbins, Chloe Madonna's. It's a relationship management as well as a strategic intervention life coach. So I did actually go through that. So I don't be playing with the title. You might think, oh, well, you coach football? No.
There are other coaches, guys. Let's not be that ignorant. All right.
But I do I enjoy just helping, so my initial push really, I think it stemmed from I was overseas for some time. I was in the Air Force back in the day, got out of the Air Force, then I started working for the federal government, did that. I was a contractor for some time, and so one of the things that was happening for me, and what kind of got me to the entrepreneurship kind of online, really to where we are, in this space, was internet marketing. So that was kind of my initial push into it. Yes, of course, like many of us, I was in network marketing, and all these type of things back in the day. My first program was ACN, those type of things. And it seemed like to this day, if I say ACN, somebody's like, oh yeah, I was in that too.
A funny story. I wasn't quite in ACN, but my first opportunity in network marketing was Stream Energy. And Stream Energy was recently purchased by ACN.
Wow.
So now it is ACN. So it's interesting that you say this. So indirectly, I was in ACN, still am in ACN technically too. So that's amazing.
That's cool.
And I think the network marketing space, and I don't want to talk about it too much, and I don't want to stop you, but I think if that experience really gives us a lot that allows us to succeed in this type of thing that we're doing here, and in just presentation skills, how to deal with objection, how to deal with no's, how to deal with yeses, the follow-up. If there's things that, those important things that we learned along the network marketing journey, and to not make light of the coaching experience that you have. Tony Robbins, for those of you that don't know who Tony Robbins is, if you have spent, and I haven't, I've just seen clips of videos and different things of that nature, but that kind of energy in a room is something I think that everyone should experience just one time. Just one time. Even if you're not a network marketing professional, don't want to be in that type of industry, you just need to feel that energy one good time. So I just wanted to throw that out there. But if there's anything else you want to share, Coach, we can get into that, and then we can get into the bulk of what we want to talk about today. Of course, there's a few things, but
yeah. So one, I do want to, I'm trying not to look at the chat too much, but I see Chris. I'm so happy that she's been amazing. She loves what you do, and we've been working together for some time as well. So just appreciate that. Shout out to Chris. And I see Cedro, man, amazing guy. Met him out there in Atlanta.
That's right.
That was wow, man. It was just good people. And Tracy, all y'all, look, all right. So I appreciate y'all. Believe it. Man, I'm just happy to be here, man. So anyway, so coaching. So I'm real short. I'm trying to just pull it full circle. Network marketing. I was spending time as a contractor, overseas. Yes, make good money. So I got to a point where, okay, what do I do now? I mean, I got a little time, now I finally can breathe, my bills aren't beating me up. And so I was like, you know what? I want to do something different. And internet marketing became that thing I wanted to do. So the interesting thing about that piece of my history is, and it's going to come full circle here in a minute. When I started doing internet marketing, I teamed up with a company called CC Pro, right? Carbon Copy Pro. And the guy behind it was Jay Kubasak, and there's a lot of guys to this day that have branched off of that and created their own type of internet marketing type programs. And that's kind of what he built. And so I got into Google AdWords. That was a major piece of that that program using Google AdWords. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay. So at that time, I didn't know anything about it. So I started learning, and man, I was getting, I mean, just massive leads from all over the world. I'm like, man, this is great. So I'm building and building and building. And so here's like, you know, and without going into all the crazy stuff, but there's something that came out of that I really hang on to this day.
Yeah.
So you got network marketing, and then you have this internet marketing, and then you have this learning process. Like I said, from network marketing, massive learning, personal development. But then moving forward to internet marketing, it kind of graduated me into a different mindset, because in network marketing, you're selling small items for small commission. 99% of the time, right?
Yeah.
And you got this massive compensation plan to compensate for not having big commissions, but a lot of little commissions.
Right.
Well, we move forward. I was on internet marketing, and I'm doing all these Google AdWords, and I'm learning, you know, AdSense and all that. But the one thing that guy said that really changed the game for me, he said, if you want to make big commissions, you got to sell high ticket items. And I'm like, oh, so instead of doing 500 of these little things, I could do one big thing.
Right.
And the same effort goes into it. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I was selling seminars, you know, $15,000 seminars.
Yeah.
I'm doing this from in an apartment or a villa in Kuwait. I'm selling seminars with Google AdWords.
Yeah.
You know, and so that was like 15,000. So you would get a $5,000 commission off of this seminar that you were selling.
Wow.
And it could be in, you know, New Zealand, or it would be in where, you know, different locations, man.
Yeah.
And it was all about kind of like making money. And so you would have, you know, where, you know, millionaires, billionaires, whatever, they would always have at least one that would be headlining for that event. Yeah. And, you know, selling from the stage, that was a major thing, you know, 10 years ago.
Yep.
So, you know, so that right there. So when we saw the advent of CP/AMSIS,
yeah, dude,
I was like, man, look, I'm in. Let's go.
Yeah. You knew the power of Google AdWords. You knew the power of that industry already in advertising, and I think that's what grabbed a lot of us to get into that the way that we did.
So, but yeah, man. So that's my thing. You know, I went to so at the end of my process of it was an online course that Tony Robbins was offering, and like I said, Claude Madonna, these some Harvard, you know, people, whatever he was working with. And, you know, his name is attached to things, and they run it. But we actually studied his like, he would do live events. So they would take segments of his live events and show us, and then we would go question and answer, right? And you know, we obviously had study, and then we have group sessions and one-on-one, and then you had to do like 3 live actual training coaching sessions before you could get your certification. And so pretty much at the end of about 6 months, I was able to go ahead and do that. I was actually working over at an Army depot in Texas, and I had a guy that was just troubled, and I was like, hey man, let's record this. And so I sat him down, and I went through the process, and a big part of strategic intervention is, you know, cutting off the limiting beliefs. So whatever it is that your mind is telling you, then let's stop that, and let's see, what do you want your mind to tell you? Right. And we shift that into that where are you going? Like that's not, you're not going to stay in this place. You can't, you know, and that's what Tony Robbins, man, he has so many sayings, you know, and it's just so much. And I used to be able to just quote them things, man, but it's been a while. But you know, but he was like, and I can't, it was one thing that I really love. But another one that I do remember, and I actually put it in my book, was, you know, you can't see the forest for the trees. Right. And a lot of people hear that term and really don't grasp the depth of that. Yeah. That comes from, you know, neuro-linguistic programming. That's like, you know, from NLP. And it's like the vision, you really are in there, and you're seeing way beyond what everybody else can see. Right. And that's something that you have to be in a whole different state. And so Tony Robbins taught that, you know, in order for you to be successful, in order for you to stay focused, in order for you to do, you know, any of the great things you want to do, then you have to shift your state. So, you know, if you're standing up, you sit down. If you sit down, you stand up. If you got to physically do something. So you got your physiology, and you have to move your mental. And I mean, it was just all those things combined. And he's just a genius, man. Just that flow, you know, he would shift. And you know, when you see him on stage or you see him walking through the crowd and he picks somebody out, dude, it's like, you're mesmerized at the level of expertise and moving the people. So when somebody is like, you know, acting like he's not doing something or he's not legit, I'm like, man, y'all just don't get it, man. When you see how huge he is in person, it's like, good Lord.
Yeah.
But I went to the Unleash Your Power Within event in Florida.
Yeah.
The end of my, it just timing was really great, because right at the end of that 6 months, I did my training. I had got all that done. And then they said, okay, if you're ready to get started, then we can offer you one of our lead coaches, and they will, you know, walk you through the next 6 months to get you started. And I was like, absolutely. So I hired on one of their coaches. And so for the next 6 months, I actually, every week we met. He was from Hawaii, actually. So every Sunday we were on. And the first thing he asked was, hey, what do you want to do? Like, what is the goal that you want to accomplish with our time together? And I said, I want to write my book. He was like, all right, let's go. And he gave me a lot of good information. It was just amazing, but it gave, the accountability was probably the most important thing.
Yeah.
And that's, to this day, that's what I'm all about is, you know, when I'm hosting events and when I, you know, want to make sure that people get what they need, you know, you got to be accountable. Like you have to show up. Like you can't just half do it. That's so right. Very, very critical. But yeah, man. So that whole energy was I was a manager and all that stuff, you know, with my job. And so I felt like that would help me, one, be a better father, be a better husband, be a better manager, because I could understand people. And that really what drove me to do that. And so to this day, I think that is still the driving force. Right. And so yeah, I mean, so this to me is me being me.
That's right. That's right. So, and when I think about everything that you just said, like I call them pivots, right? So the change in the change in where you are, like when you said, if you're sitting down, stand up. If you're standing up, sit down. Like the pivoting has had to been something that I've had to embrace. And I think Tony Robbins does a great job of making it real and in your face, especially when he's right there in your face. You can't, it's like a starstruck thing that kind of happens to some people. And I understand that there's a level of, because I'm in the entertainment industry, I understand that some people see that as entertainment. Like he just knows how to do what he does. But at the crux of what he's doing, the reason why it's changing people's lives is because what he's saying to you and what he's making real in your life is really things that you need to do to make change. Right. You know, you really have to decide. You really have to cut off limiting belief. You have to stop telling yourself you can't do things. You have to be consistent. You have to show up on good days, bad days, off days. You know, your arm falling off. You just have to, even if, and I saw this on social media, because a lot of the stuff I follow now is all motivational and inspirational, right? There's something that says consistency looks like this, right? And some people, it was like 2 lines. It was like, some people think consistency looks like a full bar every day. Like every day, Monday, I'm full bar. Tuesday, full bar. Woo. Wednesday, I might be 85%. Thursday, I'm back full. It don't work like that. Man. Showing up every day is coming with if you got 5% in your tank, you showed up with that. You know, you showed up with that and you gave the best of that little 5% that you could. On the good days, you came with that, you know, and that's a hard thing to do for a lot of people. But I do believe that if some people start to embrace that type of mentality, one, they'll be less hard on themselves. Because it's a self-realization that, yes, I'm not at my best today, but you know what? I'm going to show up anyway. That's the pivot. That's the change. Man. So from a very basic level, and even in this space, we see it all the time, because we hit roadblocks all the time in this space, whether it's a platform stops paying or having to increase our bandwidth to embrace something new, or whether it's showing support in a place or in a way that it's not your job to do. You know what I'm saying? It's not your job to be the support for a platform that has support. That's right. But at the same time, you want to help the people. So it's like, it's a decision. So we see this all the time. And for all of you guys that are trying to be leaders in anything, these are just a few things that you should probably embrace. All right. A few of the things that he said, and just in how you change your mentality and what it's going to take to become what it is that you want to become. Yeah. Period. Even if you don't want to be a leader, if you just want to be the best sidekick there ever was. Yeah. There's going to be a pivot that you have to do from wherever you were to wherever you're going to be. That's so right. Anyway, you just got me a little fired up because that's the stuff we battle that every day. You know, some people think that I can't wait to get on YouTube. Man, there's some days like I just want to not do videos. Sometimes I make the decision to not do videos, but it's not because I'm not showing up. You know, sometimes it's just taking the day to read what's going on Telegram, or to get caught up with emails, or to do a little bit more research on a compensation plan that you want to take advantage of, or just spending some time on Zoom calls where they're giving you information that you missed out on. All right, that's me a lot of times. You know, a lot of times I'm in front of the camera and there's a Zoom call going on with very pertinent information. And I'm sitting here telling everybody, get on the Zoom call while I'm doing this video right now. So y'all don't miss it. I'll catch the replay. Don't worry about it. I'll figure it out. But listen, man, we're so excited to have you on. I want to check in the chat just for a quick second. We got 43 people watching, so I definitely want to get 43 people to like this video before we really get into the first thing that I want to talk about. And I think we got on the same page about what we want the bulk of our conversation to be about today. There is a problem, right?
Uh-oh.
There's
yes, sir.
a problem.
Yes, sir.
And as business people, you realize that solutions are what make money, right? Finding solutions to problems is what help you make money. Finding solutions to problems is what help you build your network. So I want to tap into the comments real quick. Let's see, starting from all the, hey, Coach Rashids. We're going to start from there. Attract All Things says, hey, Rashid. IC says, hey, Coach Rashid, good to see you. Lambo Drew says, let's go, Coach Rashid. We love you, man. Thanks, BOJ, for this one. Hashtag Nipsey Hustle. And shout out to the hustle that Nipsey Hustle put out there in the universe before he went on. I get chills kind of think about that. Infallible Entertainment says, is he going to enlighten us about Novatech? No, we not talking about Novatech. I'll answer for him. No, that's not what we doing today. So if that's what you came here for, exit stage left. We not talking about it. Lambo Drew says, come on, speak. Gene Lenore says, the smooth talking guy. I like him. Crypto Empire says, she's giving a clapping hand. So I think we're all on one accord this morning. So, Coach, we have been talking about a very, very special opportunity over the last few weeks, and it's been some time trying to get the information. And I remember you were on Coach. I was about to call him Coach Lambo. He ain't Coach Lambo just yet. He ain't been to no Tony Robbins. You ain't Coach Lambo yet, Lambo. Anyway, I'm just playing. But I remember you were talking on Lambo's show, and you were saying some platforms you have to take some time to really kind of learn about them and have some conversations with some people and really get a good feel for what it is before even you decide to put it out there. I know I felt the same way about many, many things. There are different things that I'm in right now that I just have to learn more about before I feel comfortable putting the information out there. And I think we came to the agreement that I think now is the time that we kind of understand what this is, at least if they're doing what it is that they say they're doing, right? We always have to preface that because sometimes in this space, it can look real good, and then in the back end, it just ain't happening. But I think that based on what you have been a part of and what you've learned along the way and the people that you've talked to, this opportunity that we're going to bring up today is one that is going to be very, very special. And I want you to introduce it, but I want to talk about the problem just a little bit from a very basic standpoint, just so based on what I understand. This is not me reading any notes or anything like that. All right. So those of you that are out there that want to fact check, right, you can go out there and you can look up the housing crisis, right? When we're talking about a housing crisis, that means that there are not enough houses for the people, right? For the amount of people that there is not enough places for them to live. All right. This program, this platform, this opportunity is going to give all of us an opportunity to be a part of the solution to that.
Yeah.
Lambo says Mayo Trade 2.0. No.
Okay. He can't help it, man.
Yeah, I know he can't help it, but I got to get him out the way quickly when I see it. You know what I'm saying? But this is going to give us an opportunity to provide a solution to this housing crisis through the same ways that we already kind of interact with the space right now. And that's what I think is important. The ability to use our cryptocurrency assets or what we've earned from this space and different things of that nature. We're going to be able to really solve this problem. And without getting further into details, Coach Rashid, let us know what it is that we're talking about this morning. You can name drop, do whatever you want.
Now it's all good. I mean, if you want along the way, if you want to, if you pick some slides, if you want to throw something out there, and just kind of focus on.
Matter of fact, I don't know if you have slides up, but I can just make you a host, brother. And
oh, okay. Because I mean, I just want to make sure I stay kind of on track because I can talk through it. That's not a problem at all.
Yeah. But if you ever want to show anything just for the visuals, it's all good. That's the beauty of Zoom, right?
Cool. No, absolutely. But no, so some of you were, if you were on the Lambo Drew show the last time I was on, and you and you stayed for the 4 hours.
Marathon men.
Then you probably caught that that announcement at the end. So yeah, so one of the things that we're talking about today, like I said, there is a crisis. There's a massive crisis. And some of my history that I didn't talk about is I've had the time in my past where I was homeless. I literally, when I came from overseas, and I was, basically looking, I went through a divorce, all that kind of stuff, but I was moving to Georgia, actually, right there in Atlanta. I lived in Smyrna. And so, I worked at the Air Reserve Base, and I gave my car basically to my ex, and because with the kids and everything, and I was like, hey, look, y'all, do what you got to do, and I was walking, and so I'm from Texas, so drove all the way to Atlanta, boom, and so that has always been something that it just really ate at me to think about people not having a place to actually sleep, a decent place, right? And so when we're looking at it, so to be clear, housing crisis and a homeless crisis are two different fights, but the beauty of it, there's an intersection, obviously, because if you're homeless and there's a housing crisis, we are facing the problem that is dual problems. If you don't have enough homes and you have people that are homeless, those are two major issues.
Yes.
But if we can solve one, we're probably on the road to solving the other.
That's right.
Right. So this is very, very passionate to me, and to know other people that's been there as well. And from a veteran's perspective, when I came out to San Diego and I had a guy showing me around, I'm gonna tell you, I couldn't understand. It was hard to even know where things were, because everywhere we went, I saw people laying on the street in the corners, and I was like, how is this? This never should be.
Yeah.
Right. And then when I go to the VA hospital, that just, I was like, you got to be kidding me. Like, why is there a homeless person laying right outside of the driveway to the VA clinic? That really bothered me for a long time. So I had an opportunity to do, I was doing a lot of speeches when I first got out here, and there was somebody that was putting together a team of people that want to speak for a TEDx event, a local event out here in San Diego. And the topic for me was solving the homeless crisis with blockchain technology. And I did this about 4 years ago. Wow. Right. And did some research and found, some things that worked. And it was a guy in Canada that actually had a app and a whole program. Yeah. So think about me looking at something 4 years ago in that sense. And here it is 4 years later, I'm introduced to a program that is dead center on solving the housing crisis, like globally. Yeah. Right. And so, yes. But he started his program, and the program is based on blockchain technology and big data. And I'm like, wow, wait a minute. And he takes it to another level, to the whole level of robotics. So now we got the idea of a solution to a problem that is very passionate to me. Then on top of that, you use crypto to transact with the program, and it's based on blockchain technology. I'm like, man, come on. Like were y'all waiting for me to show up? That was like, wow.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And then I mean, the person that introduced it to me, we are already in another program, been in a program for 2 years, and we're still in that program, for 2 years.
Yeah.
So for that person to introduce it to me, and she always would come back and say, hey, I got something. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I'll, let me know.
I'll check it out. Just, I know how it goes.
It sounds too familiar. So, but like I said, I think out of respect, and that's the beauty of, the people that I feel like I know a little bit in this space, like I said, like yourself, and Lambo and, a few others out there. We're not disrespectful to people, right? We're going to get hit from all sides, but
that's right.
At the end of the day, I try my best. I mean, I tell you, it only goes so far now. It's kind of like paparazzi, right? They're gonna hit you and hit you and hit you. And then when I say, look, not right now, or the timing is not good, or it's not aligning with my brand, don't come again. So chill. You know what I'm saying? So but this is a very important thing, right? So let me give you the company. It's called Camhurst 3D CP. Right, 3D CP. So this is 3D robots construction. So they're actually using robots. And here's kind of really one of the things. I mean, there's so many things that got my attention and actually kept my attention to a point where definitely invested in the organization. The first thing is 5 years plus just studying, trying to make sure he can build a better mousetrap, right? He was the guy behind it, right? Adam is CEO, and he actually has an ecosystem of companies under the Camhurst heading. He started off with blockchain and in Bitcoin. So that's where he made his money, right? He got into Bitcoin and got in early and made a lot from that. And then he started developing the marketing and developing tokens, and he was supporting because he had a good understanding of SEO and how to scale and build and market and really help you grow in kind of the online space. And so blockchain, that was just something that really accelerated his program. And so he's become very popular. And so that's where he actually built a lot of his relationships early on, and he spent a lot of time. He says he spent time in Kenya. He spent time in the Middle East and dealing with a lot of the African Union, because a lot of them go to Dubai and in some countries, and they are there to get assistance, with some of their issues and stuff like that. So that's where he met a lot of the African leaders and said, hey, look, I got something that I think I can solve the homeless problem for you, and for a very reasonable price. So, and because he already did the research, right? And he partnered. So here's one thing that is key. I've looked at so many different videos. He's partnered with a guy named Ed. Oh man, I got it wrote down somewhere. But that's the chief technology officer. So this guy, they partnered, co-founder and chief technology officer of that particular part of the company. Yeah. He's the one that had the background. He's the one with the actual expertise. And he was the one that helped to come up with the better cement, the camp. What they have is a proprietary formula that is more eco-friendly. I'm talking like almost 0%, carbon emissions that's coming from that. What I didn't know, and I found a little bit more information. He sent me the pitch deck, and it gave a lot more information on just the technical stuff. Cement is the second largest commodity or material that's used in the world. Yeah. And it causes carbon emissions. So it's affecting the ozone layer and climate change just as much as the gases from livestock and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
I couldn't, I was like, I'm blown away. He said that there is so much out of all of the cement, right, that over a year, it says that the carbon emissions from the cement and just that whole production was equivalent to all the cars in the US, Europe, and China. Wow. And I'm like, what? So it's not just one thing, but you solve one thing and you're actually in the process of solving a lot of other things. So this is something that could help, you know, with the extension of our generations to be around a little longer. Yeah. So it's just magnificent that you find out, you know, just all these different things. And he's very passionate, man. When the CEO talks about it, he talks about, you know, why are people still hungry? You know, why are people homeless? Why can't we get running water like anywhere in the world? You know what I'm saying? Actual potable water. So so those are some of the things that really move me to say, okay, you know what, let's see what kind of business model you got here. Yeah. 5 years R&D, millions of dollars. And so when he looked at the landscape, he looked at it and said, okay, we know that there's 3D robots out there in Dubai alone, and Dubai loves to be first with everything. And so they decided to go ahead in 2016 and actually made a whole office complex with 3D robots. Yeah. And, you know, so that was something that he uses, you know, as example in his videos as well. And you see that happening. So one, we know it's been done. It looked modest, but it's definitely something that was done. Now, here's where the catch is. Yes, it was done because obviously they probably had a lot of excess money to do it. But to this day, nobody was able to scale at a reasonable price in a reasonable time with the robots, right? So he gave another example while we were on a call, you know, when I had a few of my team members on a private call with the CEO. He showed had a guy from Saudi Arabia that was on, and he had been asking me a lot of questions about it. And I said, hey, look, boom, you know, we're going to be on this call. Just make sure that you ask all those questions. And so he was wondering about, you know, local property developers and things like this. He says, yeah, there's people doing 3D construction, but I'm not sure, you know, if it's accepted or, you know, I haven't seen anything and, you know, expanded. Well, come to find out, that was another example of how expensive. So I'm gonna tell you, if it's too expensive in Saudi Arabia to build, if it's too expensive in the Middle East, and they got a whole lot of money. That's pretty expensive, right? So that was something that they said they were looking at. How do we solve that piece of the problem as well? And so that was a major thing. So he said they could do it cheaper, you know, reasonable price, you know, and they could do it faster. And with the new cement formula, they can do it safer and it's lasting longer than the cement that is out there now, right? So I was like, wow. So all of those things just come together. And so that's what he said, that's what the 5 years and millions of dollars did, is he was able to find solutions to these major problems with what was currently available. So when you're looking at a house being built with 3D construction robot, and it's taken, you know, anywhere from 30 days to 6 weeks or more. And, you know, if a house you're building normally takes a year to 2 years, right? You know, maybe 2,500 square feet or whatever. And now you have a robot that can do that in 6 weeks. You're like, wow, that's pretty cool. But what if it takes 30 days just to set up? You know, then it's going to cost you 5 times as much than it would to build a normal house. They were like, so it just hasn't been able to scale. Well, what they found out was that here we can do it. We got it down to 48 to 72 hours for a 250, I think, to 300 square meter home. And what they're doing is the walls and the ceiling and the foundation. So you're getting the shell built, which is every house is built, you know, that way. And so you get that piece done, then you bring in you know, the plumbing and the electric and things like that. That's right. So by the time you finish doing everything, let's say it takes 7 days. You know, so from a developer perspective, from a construction perspective, That's phenomenal.
Yes.
And then obviously from the person that needs a house, that's more phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
And then, you know what I'm saying? So those are the type of things that just up front, I was like, man, this is something that I'm mad because just like anything else, you get some information and I'm like, okay, I'll look at it later. And literally a month later, I go back and I take a look and I'm like, oh man.
So let me get this straight for those folks that may not be where we are right now in our conversation, because we've had conversations about this, so we kind of know what we're talking about.
Okay.
But there is technology, and I'll back myself up to when I first was introduced to this by you, and I remember telling you this. I seen this before, not in a business that was an opportunity to me, but just in the technology sector. I've been watching YouTube and how different real estate or different houses and properties and stuff like that can be built on with different material, right? So I've seen the shipping container houses, and I've seen 3D printed houses that we're talking about right now. And when I saw the technology, I was like, yo, this is pretty awesome. Technology is gotten to a place where it's doing otherworldly stuff that I couldn't even imagine. And I grew up with this kind of technology pretty much accessible to us. But a 3D printed house, and we're talking about the amount of time it takes to build a regular house. And of course, there's another thing that we didn't quite talk about, but the shortage on materials now. In just trying to build a house in general in America after COVID, it seemed like that's been a rough thing. But if concrete is one of, and it's being developed in a safer way every day, and this company has an opportunity to use it, that's another huge thing that I didn't even think about till you just start talking about it. But just to reiterate, this opportunity is going to allow us to take advantage of that kind of technology that really does exist in places that really could use it. And when you mentioned Saudi Arabia, Dubai and those places want to be at the head of technology, which is very true. If there's anything new, they want it there, and they want it there as quickly as possible, right? So they went ahead and built a 3D building, a 3D printed cement building there. And I don't know if you have a picture of it, but I saw a picture of it on the presentation that I was on. And we'll have information for presentations and things of that nature for those of you that are interested in what we're talking about today. We'll make sure we leave that for you guys. But just to see that building and how it was constructed, and you can do your own research about 3D printed buildings. You can go on YouTube and look it up yourself. You'll see the process is a lot shorter time than to having to put up a regular house, based on what I'm understanding and seeing so far. So I hope that kind of recaps a little bit of what we talk about, just so you guys know what kind of technology that we're talking about. And then, of course, the fact that Rashid is not the owner of this platform. All right, so I want to make sure that that's clear as well. Okay, so I don't know that you'll be able to give a white paper that you wrote or anything that you did, but there's information. You are tied into the CEO, so that information, I believe, can be found, and you can kind of share more about that as you go along and getting back on topic. But I just wanted to make sure that we're all on the same page. Everybody understands that this is a technology that is here, that is real, right? Is currently being used and improved on every single day, even down to the concrete. Not even just the things that build these, even down to the concrete. Because like you just said, I learned myself, concrete having that kind of emission. And we're talking about cars and all that different stuff. For there to be a car to drive comfortably on a road, or even uncomfortably on a road, there has to be either new or old concrete of some sort. So it's everywhere. It's all over the world. So anyway, that just kind of blew my mind. But go ahead, continue on, Coach Rashid.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. All right, darling. I'm sorry. My daughter is here.
That's all right. We take time for the babies too.
Okay. Let me see. Real quick. Did you go outside?
Yes.
While we're doing that, if you have not liked this video yet, y'all go ahead and press the like button. We just have we have just south of 50 people watching right now, y'all. And say hi to the little one for Coach Rashid in the comments. So just say hi to the little one. All right. But make sure you like this video as we continue to talk about this amazing opportunity. I'm already blown away with some of the stuff that I'm learning, Coach. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah. Oh, this is good stuff. Good stuff. You say hello. Hi.
Hi, little one. Welcome to the BOJ Live.
See that? Okay, you're gonna be a star. Okay. All right. See you later. Okay. I'll come see you in a minute. Okay. Bye-bye.
Awesome cameo there, Coach.
Yeah, man. It's a beautiful thing. You know, when I work from home and I'm in here in the office and she just rolls up in here when she rolls out the bed and it's like, wow. It's like this glow.
Yeah. It's a beautiful reminder of what we do this for, man. It keeps us going.
Wow. Phenomenal. Okay, so all right, let's fast forward. Like I said, I think spend a little time on the technology and just letting, you know, like I said, letting people know, and you recapped it, you know, and put it in a better understandable way. So definitely appreciate that. So let's talk about the potential, right? Why, you know, from an entrepreneur's perspective, you know, investor perspective. And so one of the things that I love about this is, so for me personally, you know, I still, you know, come on and work in the same circles as BOJ and some of the other leaders out there, you know, see good projects, boom, we want to get it out to our community and all that. But one of the things that I love about this is it's different. It's just like I said, kind of like the CP or AMSIS, it's different. It's outside of the norm. And this one is like an actual, like this is a company. This is a legit company that's doing what it does with or without us. They're actually out there doing the business. And so when I categorize something as a platform or a project or a program, this is a business, right? And so that's something that I love, the fact that I'm able to bring that into my portfolio as well, and you know, and spread that information around, because we have to, when we diversify, we're diversifying into not just inside this realm, but we want to diversify outside of what we normally are doing, and that really just takes us to another level. So with this one, it's a business, and they're actually, you know, looking for investors, like legit investors. You know how we say, hey, we're not financial advisors, not investment advisors, so we don't want to use that terminology.
Right.
These guys are literally doing it.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying it. I'm just repeating.
They're looking for institutional money too.
Straight up, like, yeah. And I'm gonna show you a little bit of that on the slides. So one of the major things that I want people to understand, that from a business perspective, if you're thinking, okay, why would I invest? Why would I even put money into this? Why would I think this is, you know, workable? Well, one, we've already given you the reason why it's workable, because of the technology, because they've done it better. And this is actually going to solve a major problem. And if you've been around for a while, somebody once said, if you want to earn $1 million, you solve $1 million problem.
That's
if
right.
you want to earn $1 billion, you solve $1 billion problem.
That's
guess what? We're in the $1 trillion area now.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So just a little piece of that will be awesome. So when we're talking about, so I'm going to talk about potential, and then I'm going to talk about actual. And I'm going to tell you, if you are a VC, right, or a JV, or you want to set up a JV, any of those type of things, if you have money and you want to invest, then one of the biggest things that you look for, and I know you probably looked at Shark Tank. Okay. Do you have actual orders? Right? A lot of people come to the table with great ideas, but do you have orders? You want me to invest? Okay, show me with the purchase order and I'll fund it. Right? So that's a powerful piece of the puzzle, by the way. That takes you away from trading platforms, crypto, Forex. Now you have to think like a business person.
That's right.
Right? And so now, and see, and the beauty of it is, yes, let's make our money where it's low-hanging fruit. That's cool. Now, what do you do with it? Now you can shift some of that. So don't do one or the other. No. This is a transition.
Right.
You know, so this is the beauty of having something like this. It's like, wait a minute. So I'm making good money over here, and all I'm doing is, you know, rinse and repeat. Wait a minute. What if I take that and put it into this realm?
That's
an
right.
actual business that's out there doing things in the economy. Oh, wait a minute. Now my money actually is being utilized. It's being taken care of. You can do the the fiat things that you need to do, get the government off your back, whatever. All right. So potential. So let's say, and these are the numbers that they ran. This is the research they did, and this is what they came up with. So they take the 3D printers, construction robots, and they get a contract in Africa. And obviously the need is there, right? He has good association with the leaders there. So of course he started there, and he says, we'll build 300 square meter homes and sell them for 60,000 each, right? In the US, of course, you're like, that's not going to get me no house. And we got that. But we're talking about maybe places, Africa or Asia, they have the need and the government's looking for solutions. So boom, here's a way to do that. Now, with those 10,000 affordable houses in Africa that they sell for 60,000, they're partnered with actual organizations. So everybody's not paying 60 directly from their pocket. They're getting assistance from the government, so on and so forth, right? So yes, it could be expensive for anybody, but we're making sure that the connections are there. Now, when those houses are sold, they say conservatively, looking at a minimum, just a minimal $10,000 profit per house. So $10,000 per house, 10,000 houses, you're looking at $100 million in profit. Okay. Now, I want people to keep this in mind. Profit. There's going to be another segment that I talk about that, that's going to show you how we benefit from the portion of that profit that some others won't. So then you have the robots. So picture it like this. You get the contract, and then here we have X amount of robots. So if the customer says, I want these built in, 6 months or 12 months, whatever that is, okay, got it. You're going to need X amount of robots. Now, those robots are part of the sale. Okay. If they want to lease them, then they can lease them or they can buy them. Totally up to them. The leasing is $30,000 a month, right? So that's just something extra that happens behind the scenes. And there's cement, there's a lot of other parts to this, but this is just at high level, overview. So 100 million for 10,000 houses in Africa. Now, let's say you go to Europe or the US and you do 2,500 for the same amount of energy, same amount of bots and everything. You do 2,500 luxury homes. So we're talking, maybe 2,000 to 4,000 square feet. We're not going all the way out in the LA Beverly Hills type luxury, but 500,000, right? So that's about average, a little less than average in San Diego, but yeah, we'll in middle America. So,
in middle, on the outskirts, that 500 isn't much doing it over here either. I'm not gonna lie to you.
So somewhere between DC and San Diego.
Right.
So 500,000. And so, okay, that's cool. Now you get 100,000 profit per home constructed. So now that's 250 million, right? So those numbers, we're going to use those again. So those are just ideas about when they work the numbers, when they've done all their research, then this is what they came up with as a legitimate numbers, pricing, and profit. All that's reasonable. Okay. Now let's look at it on a different scale. Those same numbers, but now we actually have confirmed orders, 10,000 houses in Burkina Faso, 3,000 bed capacity hostel in a university in Ghana, 600,000 affordable housing units in Republic of Ghana, right? And then 3,000 bed hotel. So these are things that they actually have confirmed orders. They actually are in the process of sealing the deal and just a date to start and making sure everything is in place. So that process has already started. The commitment is there. Now, we know there's a lot of red tape and all that, no problem, but they have the order so they can start that process. Now, I don't know about you, but I do look around the internet. I'm on different calls for, that to go back to Africa, people that, have moved back to Africa. Most of them, Ghana is one of the largest places that are saying, please come back. We'll welcome you. We'll take care of you. Yeah. So definitely in Tanzania, the same thing. They have a lot of space that they want to build nice homes for, people that want to come back, from the West. So we know that demand is there and a lot of people are definitely doing it. So that's beautiful in one side, but then the people that are there that need the homes, then the smaller ones are probably going to fit that bill. So let's take that $60,000 home and let's go with the 100,000 of the 600,000 for the Republic of Ghana. So they've already said that 100,000 is what the Republican has already said, hey, this is what we need now. So I say in 1 year, I give it 1 year. Let's say they finish off 100,000 units, 1 year, $100 million profit. That says nothing else is done for a whole year. That says we stop today, no marketing, no promotions, no more investment, just nothing. 100,000 of those homes get built in a year, right? So all that happens, $100 million at the end of next year. All right, so let's just say that's the case. Now we got confirmed orders for the robots, Germany, Switzerland, Denmark. So some people may be thinking, oh, this is just Africa. No, 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 no. This is everywhere. Right? Argentina, Brazil. So it's in South America, North America, Europe, Africa. And I'm thinking they're working in, I don't see anything in Asia, but I'm sure that that's being worked as well. So this is where we are and the pipeline. So these are just conversations obviously being had. So that's in addition to, okay. So that's something that I'm gonna tell you that really kind of gives me the tingling feeling when I'm like, wait a minute, confirmed? Oh, let's move forward, because definitely want to be a part of this. So with this, now just keep this in mind, right? We're going to use the 250 million as an example for profits that you can possibly earn. So I want to hold that number in your mind, because I just want to touch on a couple of things and then I'm going to go directly into that. Or I'll just go into that first and then I'll come back to some other things.
However you want to do it. I got that 250 in my mind though.
Okay. Okay. All right. So let's go there. So I actually set up the slides a little differently for a number of reasons, but I'm going to go there because, like I said, it's fresh on the mind. So when we're talking about that 250, we're talking about that 250, right? So one of the things that they have is an exclusive founder program. That exclusive founder program, just what, I don't know, 3 days ago, they said, hey, you know what? All the founder positions are gone, done. Right. So 1,000 positions were set up for the founder program. So that right there, I'm gonna tell you what's so powerful about that. You have a program that actually has offered founder positions because they are investing, they need investment. They got to get some seed money. They got to grow, you know, the pot. So they can do some of the other things they need to do. So they say, look, if you're a first mover, if you want to get in here and support us, great. Then here's what we're going to do. We're only going to take 1,000 positions. That right there is magnificent, but it's only $1,000 to $5,000. So you can buy one position or you can buy up to 5 and boom, you're good to go. Now, of course, some people bought a lot more than that, but that's a different discussion. I'll hit on that in a minute. So that right there puts you in a certain position. So you're like, what's the benefit of doing that? All right, hold that thought. As a founder, they're going to take 5% of the profits. Now that 250 million is starting to materialize now, right? So 5% of the total profit is shared with the private club. And that's done every quarter. Okay. So if you got 250 million in profits, and we've already showed you confirmed orders, and that's way more than 250 million, but let's just use 250 million. And that happens over the course of 12 months, not a quarter, but 12 months. So nothing happens for 12 months. Just worst case scenario. That happens at 250 million, 5% of that comes off the top and goes over to the private club, which you are a part of. So now we have 1,000 members only. Of course, there's probably way more people in the program, but 1,000 only that share in that 5% of 250 million. Wow. Private club shares profit with founders quarterly, and you're going to get 50,000 CAM 3DCP tokens. They're on the Binance Smart Chain, by the way. And just a bonus before I even get there, because I might forget, with the tokens, if you actually have somebody that's just focused on tokens and they want to actually sign up, you can actually give them your link and they can purchase tokens, and you don't get paid your commission in CAM. You get paid your commissions in BNB. Phenomenal. Most of them use native coins to pay you. Nobody ever gives you the platform or the network. They give you the native coins, which is, you know, whatever. But these guys actually pay you commissions in BNB. I thought that was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
You know what I'm saying? So, all right. So let's go here. Oh, you know what? I think I moved. That's the one I was looking for. All right. So as I mentioned, the 250 million. So what does that look like? Example, all right, and not financial advice, not investment advice. This is for illustration purposes only. Company profits 250 million over the course of a year. Like I said, not every quarter, but first year, all the way out, 12 months go by. You invested 1,000 or 5,000. Okay, we're going to use both examples. 5% of that 250 million from the company's profits goes to the private club. That's 12,500,000. That 12,500,000 is divided by 1,000. Only 1,000 members. That's 12,500 per member. Yes, for $1,000, that is a 1,200% profit increase. Now, if you think that's nice, let's look at it a little different way. If you're a diamond member, right, and you have 5 positions, and you would receive 5 of those shares. So if it's 12,500 per share, for that quarter alone, you're receiving $62,500.
Wow, for the quarter.
For that quarter. So here's kind of my, kind of perception of what is possible. Yeah. Right. In 1 year, let's say they do 100 million to 250 million in 1 year. Okay. After that 1 year, and they say, look at what we've done. And so some of the countries are just saying, let's see what those houses are going to look like. Let's see what kind of operation you have. Let's see if you're actually doing what you say you can do. Oh, wow. Okay. 12 months go by and they have 100,000 houses to show. Yeah, we've done it. Yep. And they're like, wow. Okay. Sign me up. So the next year, every quarter is probably going to be 250 million. Right. So that's the kind of thing I look at. Why? Because you're looking at maybe one project that'll do 250 million. Right. And then, so when I go back to that mentality of, if I want to get larger commissions, then I need to sell high ticket items.
That's right.
Right. So this is where that comes into play. You're in an industry, this is $1 trillion industry. This is, I mean, we know Forex is $1 trillion industry, but the money you have to put in to get that amount out is much, much larger. So your front load is way higher. Here, you can put in 1,000, you can put up to 5,000, which is very conservative. And it's only 1,000 private club members. That's phenomenal to get that type of return. It's off the charts, right? So I believe that after a year, they're going to have so much more proof of what they've done. And from doing all the research, and now they're like, okay, now we're able to go ahead and produce these things. And then a year later, somebody looks back and says, oh my gosh, now they got a whole portfolio of, we did this, we did this, we did this, we did this shape, that shape, we did, 300 square meters, we did 1,200 square meters, we did a luxury home, we did a skyscraper. They got bots that can actually climb 10 stories. Wow. Like, right. Wow. So these are the type of, because I asked him about a skyscraper and he was like, oh no, we actually have our bot. It can scale up. It has an actual attachments that it can go up high as you want it to go.
I was going to ask about that too. Is it just like 1 level homes? Can they do 2-3 level homes? How do basements work? All that different. Do they even advise basements for that kind of, but anyway, keep going.
So those and so those are the things that, like I said, and that's why I love being on the calls. I have a gentleman, man, I think he's in Oregon, and he has a background in the cement and the rock crushing and understanding that type of construction. And so he was just like, oh my gosh, like they're actually going to have their own polymer cement. He was like, oh yeah, I need to find out about that. That's going to be another profit center as well, by the way. So this right here is exciting. Now, let me give you the punchline. There are no more founder positions. So anybody that's over there, I don't know, getting excited, then stay excited, because they have extended this out till July 13th.
Yeah.
So the founder, so you got the CTO, founder, co-founder. They said, you know what, since we still have demand and now it's picking up speed and more people are coming to the table, they're like, all right. What do we do? So they said they're going to sell back some of their founding positions so that people can go ahead and take advantage of this. Okay. So So I think, you know, I don't, you know, I'm just kind of conjecture of what I think is happening is they're allowing the purchases to go on. So you can go to the website, you can actually make the purchase. And then at the end of the extension, July 13th, then they're probably going to say, okay, we have another, you know, 20, 30, 40, 100, whatever that is.
Yeah.
And then they're probably going to cut it off at that time. And then they can know exactly how much they have to sell back.
Right.
Because I was just wondering, like, can you go to the website or if there's a special email? But no, the website is still available. I still have people purchasing founder positions and everything. So yeah, so the process is still the same. So there's no new information as far as how to do it. You get, you know, like I said, if you're here, like I said, BOJ invited you and you're here, then just get his link. Boom, you go right in and you'll be able to get involved in this. I really, you know, just, you know, from my personal experience in this space, as well as, you know, dealing with the CEO and obviously knowing literally the top 3 people in the program. I mean, this is definitely something that is just phenomenal. And I look at it from a long-term potential. It's no different from a risk perspective. I believe, and everybody has a different level of risk. I believe it's no different than the risk we take with other programs. I mean, we believe that the program is going to deliver. We believe that we're going to make our money for X amount of time.
Correct.
This is the same thing, right? You know, this type of, you know, business really this is how entrepreneurs did it. And they go out for seed investment, and, you know, some people put money in and, you know, you don't know if they're going to really deliver. You just know that this is amazing. Like, I believe in it. And so nothing happens without capital.
That's right. That's right.
They got to get capital. So if you don't put nothing in, then it may not work. But if you put something in and somebody else puts something in, and all of a sudden they get to that 3 million, that 6 million that they're looking for, guess what? Everybody benefits from that.
That's right. That's right.
So let me highlight investments. All right. So as a brand ambassador, which is a different category, and I'll talk a little bit about that as well. So you have the founders, and then you have the brand ambassadors, and then you have different categories of ambassador. And then we have a country distributorship and regional distributorships as well, which is like actual companies that are looking to become the main distributor in that country or that region. The US being so large, then they may split it up. But everything that happens in a country will come through that country distributor. So that's just phenomenal in itself. So brand ambassador. So if you actually, you know, say you sign on, you put in, you know, $100 up to 100,000, you be a brand ambassador. Boom, you're making dividends every day.
Yep.
Now you decide that you want to tell somebody that may be able to go ahead and believe in the project, believe in the robots, and actually maybe have property development that they want to use the robots for. They purchase a robot. You're going to get 5% right off the bat. Boom, that's your commission.
Yep.
So that's a $13,000 commission right up front. The two sets, so it's $250,000 for the robot, and the other $25,000 is for the training. So they do train, you know, the people. There's a 3-day training. They say it's very simple, and they get that set up and take care of all of that as well.
So you can literally purchase, if someone wanted to purchase a robot, they could literally purchase a robot.
That was their main sale.
So they could go.
So for building,
someone owned acres of land somewhere in Mississippi, and they wanted to purchase a robot and get cracking. Of course, you had to get the training and get whatever contractors you need to really get the job done. But you could actually do that.
Absolutely. Wow. They prefer that. That's a big part of what they're doing. And they have an academy that they're creating. And I know they talk about in Africa, but like, so I'm sure it can be done anywhere, where you can bring in actual academies and set them up and actually, you know, so they can learn the trades. So now you're not only selling the robot, you're not only training up 2 or 3 people to run the machines and actually, you know, finish that part off. You're actually training them to be the electrician. They're training them to be the plumber. So they're trying to give all of that to one area. So each area can have their own contractors in-house because they've been trained to do that, right? And they're certified to do all of that. So they're trying to do that on location. And so that's a major thing. So the same thing, like you said, if you're, like I said, Alabama or somewhere and you got land and you purchased a robot and you want to do a whole development, then absolutely they'll do the training, get all that set up for you. And, they ship the robots in and man, good to go.
Wow.
And now, right, currently the robot, they're sharing a space in the US. It's being manufactured in the US. They did all the research and development in the US. And so that's why right now the profit on a sale for the company is 50,000 and the profit on leasing is 30,000 per month. 50,000 one time, 30,000 per month for the leasing. So some people may be thinking, okay, if I'm a brand ambassador and you're paying dividends, where's the money coming from? From the sale and the leasing of the
robot,
right?
Gotcha.
So that's where that's coming from, and they've sold about 10 already. So
wow,
so they're good. And so that, like I said, they get packed up and that's shipped in a container to wherever it's going. There's a factory in the US, and then there is their factory that I think they even have it built, and they just need to kind of move in the UK, Manchester, I think they said.
Yeah.
So when they get to their own facility now, instead of 50,000 profit on a sale, they said it could be about 75,000 profit on a sale. And basically what that does is that increases the founder's benefit.
Yeah.
From my simple, humble example of what that means.
Yeah.
Country distributorship, just for people that want to know, because I have had interest in this from people that are qualified. Right now, 500,000, $500,000 is the fee, and the actual, I think it's 2 robots right now. So, and you get them for a discount or whatever. I think it's at about a 30% discount. You have to have 2, you got to purchase 2 robots and 500,000, then you can become a country distributor. Everything that happens in that country, you get a percentage of. Yeah. So phenomenal. And the US, that's just, whew, man. All right. So that is there. Now, if you have somebody out there that has a cool $1 million that they want to invest in this type of company, then they are definitely welcoming that.
Yeah.
And so right now they're trying to get up to 3 million, a little more seed investment. Obviously, 5 years of putting money out and doing research and development. Yeah, they're trying to recoup some of that.
Yeah.
And so that's something that they're doing, looking for any venture capitalist or, joint ventures. And that's what, a guy from Saudi Arabia, he has some partners that are looking at it from a larger perspective of maybe joint ventures versus just depositing the money. So they'll discuss any of that, any option with you. Now, let's say, for instance, you do have somebody that wants to put in $1 million. Well, obviously that conversation will be had with the CEO. They'll figure out, hey, wire the money, do whatever, however they get it, they're gonna get it. And you're gonna get a cool $50,000 profit off of that, commission off of that. So very nice, very nice. And by the way, so even if, let's say, for instance, anybody, on the call or whatever, have people out there that might be interested in this space. You're a brand ambassador, you're doing your thing, you introduce it to somebody and they introduce it to somebody else, because obviously, there's other people out there that we may not know that they know, and they introduce it, and you wake up one morning and you got an extra $10,000 in your account. It's pretty cool.
Wouldn't that be lovely? Now, Brother Rashid, Coach Rashid, let me ask you this.
Yes.
So, and I'm kind of looking at the comment section as well. And when folks see numbers like this, of course, we're all not at that. Well, I won't speak for everybody, but some of you out there may not be at that level where you could put a cool $1 million, or you can pull a 250 or 275 or whatever the case may be for a robot, right? We know that there are other options, and there always should be other options for maybe the lower level investor, someone that may be just getting into this space or is just trying to figure out how they can play their small part. There is something for everyone. So I don't want you guys to feel like this is only for the big timers and the heavy hitters and the high rollers. Now, this is important that we mention that there is something for everyone here and at Camhurst. And I believe you got some information on that as well, right, Coach?
Let's do it. Yeah. So So one of the things, so in my recent presentation, so after I found out that the founder positions were pretty much taken up, and like I said, they did extend that, $1,000 per position, 5 positions give you a diamond level, and you will get 5x or 5 times, which is similar to 5x, I guess, return on that, right? So you have your 5 shares, you're going to make 5 times as much as everybody else. So definitely that's there. July 13th, drop dead, boom, they're closing it off. No more than 1,000 positions, keeps it honest. So that's one thing. Now, in addition to that, for somebody that says, you know what, I don't mind making money quarterly, I don't mind waiting, that's fine. But what can I do in the meantime? Well, guess what? We're all in this trading, and we like those platforms that, give us opportunity to see our, commissions daily or profit daily, and actually able to take that money out and do what we want to with it. Well, guess what? There is a robot leasing plan with Camhurst 3DCP as well, right? So they do pool money together, and that helps to offset some of the costs when somebody leases and they have to ship it and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. For that, they will give you a percentage back, which that's standard practice. So you're going to make money when you get into, and I'll show you the numbers here. Let's go ahead and jump right in that real quick. So yes, there's a robot leasing program. The leasing is $30,000 a month for somebody, let's say out there, somebody actually construction or a property developer, whatever, or just a person that, likes the program, they can lease the bot for $30,000 a month. Those funds are helping to pay dividends for us as the ones that are invested in the program, right? So that's the daily dividends right there. Now, if they sell a bot, like I said, you don't have to sell it, but somebody sells the bot, 50,000 comes into the company. You as a brand ambassador are going to get your percentage of that as well. Okay. So you're making a percentage off of everything that happens in the company. Okay. So the profit from the sale or the leasing of the robots is shared with the community. There you go. So everybody gets rewards in the community. All right. Thank you, darling. Hey, can you close that, please? Thank you so much. Are you eating? Okay. Okay. All right. I'll see you in a minute. Okay. All right. So you can receive daily rewards and help solve the global housing crisis. So here's kind of the cap is the RLP program. It ends at 200%, right? And I think I was trying to find a way to make that relative to things that, we kind of already know. Right. So 200%, right? That's where you decide, okay, I put in $100. I should be getting $200 because you're able to take your seed money, you're able to take your deposit and you're going to get that other 100% profit on top of that, right? So it doubles basically in 6 months. Why do I say 6 months? Because in June, there was a promotion that says, hey, look, we looked at the numbers, things are growing really good. We're able to double your money in 6 months. So whatever you deposit, it'll double in 6 months. Then July came around and they were like, hey, why not extend it? Boom. So they made the decision. So we're still in an opportunity where in 6 months, and what I say 6 to 9 months, you can double your capital with this Camhurst RLP program. Okay. So those are some of the key things that during while you're looking for the quarterly payments to come around, you can actually earn on a daily basis.
That's right.
So the leasing program starts. So they had some zeros here, but now RLP 3 is the minimum. Now there is a free part, and I'll show you that as well. So $100 minimum in this particular example, up to 100,000. And so basically all of these numbers get doubled in 6 months. Like absolutely phenomenal. So if we really go into the, people that are in that mindset of trading, this is like 0.55% a day. Just, if you want to run the numbers, that helps you to understand it better. Which is still, in the big picture, they're really right there in line with what we already kind of know and what we've seen before. Correct. Yeah. So from a sustainable perspective, that's a good number. So so that's phenomenal. You're talking 6 months and you've doubled what your deposit, right? So if you put in 10,000, you're looking at 20,000 in 6 months. That's phenomenal. And
that's just passive. That's not really that's you not having to share this with anybody at all.
That is great. I'm glad that's what, So that's so critical to understand. You are not obligated to tell anybody. This right here is the passive side. This is the side that you're like, you know what? I have some other programs out there, and I'm actively working them. I just want something that's gonna build in the background. Boom.
Yep.
Here you go.
There
Straight
you
up passive. This is beautiful. And it's gonna so here's the difference in, I think, the bigger picture. One, it is a long term. It's going to take time to build up to that 250 million or more.
Right.
Okay. This right here, you're getting paid every day. From you put your money in, boom, you can see in your back office, you're getting paid every day.
That's
so
right.
It's really, really amazing. Okay, darling. All right. So every day, right? So that to me is phenomenal, because you don't normally see that with like actual businesses. They just don't come with that. But since he has that background, he understands that this is something that is more appealing. And he has adjusted things. So that red right there, he has adjusted because they, like I said, the company is bringing in, you know, the monies, and they're like, yeah, we can handle that. And so they extended it out to 100,000. So it's really, really cool. That's awesome. So what does that really, really look like for the communities, right? So for the leaders out there and the people that do want to help others benefit from this as well, this was added. So this is the beauty of being at the beginning. You get to have conversations with the CEO. You get to say, you know what, I like what you're doing, but I'm gonna tell you, he had other plans. I had a conversation with him and I said, hold up. I said, you got a couple of things going on. You have a great program, like phenomenal program. I said, the compensation plan is amazing. You don't add anything else. Yeah. Because it's going to start to look a little different, and people are not going to be attracted to it, especially people that's in this space and understand it. Yes. They're gonna be like, wait a minute, you're throwing too much stuff, you know. You're looking needy. So don't do that. Yeah. So so this right here, I thought was definitely something value added. And actually the guy out of New York, he was more instrumental in this piece of it. But here's what's phenomenal about this. One, they're going to have a new comp plan that's coming out. The second part is, you see that 0 over there for qualification team volume. Mm-hmm. This is so powerful. So many people have been burned. So many people have lost their confidence. So many people have been challenged in this space. And you just can't get yourself to go out and talk to anybody, or you just can't put your money in there or whatever. Look, we don't want your money. The program says, look, I want you to test it out. I want you to see if it works. I want you to see if we're gonna pay you because we said we would pay you. Right. You go out, you talk to somebody, you get them involved. They're excited. You're the marketer. You don't know who's that contractor or that person that understands robots or understands this space. Right. All you know is when you go out your front door and you look to the left, you got homeless people. Look to the right, and you got boarded houses. Yeah. Right. You look at the news and it says people are renting. They're actually building subdivisions for renters, not to buy. That's new. That's like, so why? Because people are saving up money. And then when it gets time to buy, guess what? The price just went up 20 to 30%. That's right. That's right. Like, I still can't afford it. Right. So now, boom, shift to the rental. But guess what's happening in the rental space? The demand has went up. Yep. And now that same person is struggling to pay their rent. That's right. That's man, right. It's a catch-22, right? That's right? So this right here is so beneficial on both sides, renting and leasing, because we're not going to be in the renting and the buying section. All we're doing is saying, boom, you build it, you rent it, or you do whatever you do. The profit has already come. So you're going to make money if it rents or buy, it doesn't matter, right? Right? But at the end of the day, we're still supporting the solution versus the problem. That's right. You don't have to pay any money. You can actually test drive this thing out and make the highest percentage directly to you. By test driving, you're making the highest percentage. Wow. Right. So they're serious about saying, look, just get in, talk to a few people, get on a presentation. And you know how we do. I'm going to do Zoom calls. Yeah. You don't have to do anything. That's right. Be a professional inviter. That's all you got to do. That's right, man. I wish more people understood that. Just be a professional inviter. Just do that. Master the invitation, y'all. Seriously, master the that's another one of those network marketing nuggets. Master the invitation. You don't have to be the one that knows everything. This is a part of the reason why we have Coach Rashid on the show today. Just to preface, I'm a founding member
I'm also a person that has invested into the daily passive side. But because I'm still learning, why not bring someone that has spent that time and has dedicated some time to really learn why it's special, why it's important to be a founder, why it's important to take advantage of these things quickly, and bring them to you guys so you guys can kind of understand what kind of beast we have here.
Man, yeah, this is next level. But yeah, I think that's phenomenal. You know, and I see it happening every day, you know, and I'm really excited because I have a lot of great people, and definitely BOJ, you know, I'm always looking for a way to work together.
Yes, sir.
You know, we jump into these other programs, and, you know, a few of them like the ETF pool and some other things, you know, I'm like, oh, wow, I like that. Boom, you know, and we just that's just kind of helping the portfolio just kind of keep filling in some of those holes.
That's right.
But to me, man, this like, you know, it's like, wow, everybody can just benefit because it's different. It's something that's not, you know, in that circle where you don't have to really like, okay, let me see if I got any, you know, this one and this one. And no, you'd be like, oh, whoa, that's different. Like, let's do this. So really, I appreciate you jumping on board.
No doubt.
This is phenomenal.
No doubt. I want to tackle a couple questions because I know we've pretty much talked about the nuts and bolts of what this is, how I believe it can help, how we believe it can really help solve a problem. There's some questions in here. Lambo, of course, says a free part. Can you elaborate just a little bit about what that free part is and how people can get a part of that, or how they can at least get the information on how to get a part of whatever free part that is?
Yeah, absolutely. So you have it's no different. I mean, you know, we're as brand ambassadors. Let me go back down. Where did I go? Where did it go? Boom. Right. So as a brand ambassador, so you have brand ambassadors, then they have different level of ambassadors. And so anybody that decides to register, you know, like I said, you get the link of the person who invited you, you register, and then you're able to go ahead and utilize these avenues. Obviously, I'm gonna, you know, if we can collaborate and I can set up a weekly Zoom, I will definitely do that. You know what I'm saying? So that's the participation is there. But let me tell you straight up front, the CEO and the chief communication officer, and they have another leader out of New York. They do daily presentations. They're one directional. So there's no interaction. They present the information, which is amazing because every single day, 11 o'clock my time, 2 o'clock Eastern time, boom, every day, Monday through Thursday, I think it is Monday through Thursday. So that's where you can get the information, and it's just a quick overview. Boom, 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 boom. Same slides, but you know, if there's some updates, then obviously they're going to be there. So all the information is the same. The free is just a matter of becoming a brand ambassador, and like I said, getting registered, and you're able to market the program. Now, as far as payment wise, there's some questions sometime I get with that. One, you can use for the founder side of it, which, like I said, there's only about a week left on that, but you have options. You have the coin payments, or you can use Coinbase Commerce, which, you know, is just a payment gateway. You're not going to Coinbase. So those are available. USDT, TRC20, USDT, ERC20. That's recommended because, you know, if you've been around a while and you're transmitting from one wallet to another, there could be fluctuation if you're using Bitcoin or Litecoin.
Right.
So you kind of want to use a stable coin. And so if you send, you know, $5,000, you want to make sure 5,000 shows up. So those are the things.
Just to be clear to anyone that may have, and I want to make sure I'm getting this right with you, Rashid, the free part is the information is free, right? You can get the information, right? The next free part is registration, right? You can register for free. You can market this for free. You don't have to pay to do those things. But as far as earning, right? As far as earning goes, you do have to make some kind of deposit or investment. There isn't a free way to get in and earn necessarily without doing something.
Oh yeah. So
if you want to earn, and I think what Lambo was trying to get out was like, you can do it for free. Like, and yes, you can register for free. And I just want to make sure it's clear. You can be involved for free, but of course, earning is going to either cost you some effort or some money. You can earn passively or actively. That hasn't changed.
Very true. So yes, the effort is required.
Yeah.
So if you're not a network marketer, if you're not a person that wants to invite others, then this is the portion for you. $100 to 100,000, boom. Of course, that's not free, right? You can register for free, and the effort of finding out how much money you want to put in, check your budget, and put that money in, and you can sit back, relax, sip your pina colada, and you're making money. Now, if you don't have the funds, and let's say you have the funds, but you're a little skeptical, I mean, we see it. I mean, it happens all the time. People register and they kind of tiptoe and they do. Look, if you are having some challenges in the area of funding, so to speak, for whatever reason, and you say, but I really like this, and then you start to let that baggage attack you of what happened before, then okay, guess what? No problem. If you like it, show up. Every day it's available. Listen, learn, and then say, you know what? I do like this. I want to try this out. We're not going to ask for any money. All we're saying is go talk to somebody. Offer them the information. If they say, you know what? I'll try that out. Boom. Let's say they put in 250. You're going to get a percentage of that.
That's right.
12%, by the way. They put in 500. You're going to get 12%.
Yep.
Most people in this space, just in the online investment, are at about $1,000 minimum in any platform. Most people have graduated to that point. Yes, $100, $10, but most people I've seen lately are really starting around 1,000 to test out something.
Correct.
So you may have somebody that says, you know what? They like you. They know that, you've tried different things. They know that you've been out there, hitting the ground running, and you have some setbacks, which we all have.
Right.
But that doesn't stop. My dream is still there. It didn't go anywhere. I'm not going to let it dissipate because somebody said no.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So you can go out and say, you know what, I got a couple of people that I know, kind of like investing, they may not understand
like-minded people in your networks,
Makes sense. Because you're always going to have that warm market. You're going to have somebody that says, all right, man, let's check it out. Let's try it out. Let's see what happens.
That's right.
And what if they come in? So here's another interesting part. What if they come and they don't put no money in? Now, there's two sides to this. If they don't put any money in, and they actually are energized because it's free, and they say, look, I ain't got to pay. Oh, and they go talk to 10, 15 people. They're going to make the 12% on everything that they sell. You're not going to make anything.
That's right.
They're going to. So that could be an inspiration for you as well. Even if you don't put anything in free, you can sign up for free. The effort that you make can be, somebody you talk to every day. That's your best friend, whatever. Yep. They put in 1,000, you're going to get 12%.
Yeah.
So yeah, like you said, some effort has to be put out there, but as far as money, no, you don't have to have any money. I don't recommend that, but you don't have to have any money in the program in order to earn. But if you don't have skin in the game,
it makes it kind of tough. And we talk about this all the time on the channel. I would think about, and I always try to think about myself. I try to be more introspective because most of the stuff I bring, of course, is just talking about my journey and my experience. But anybody that I've ever looked at, like even if it was you or Lambo or any of the other people in the space, I look to see what they have contributed, what have they put in, and if they haven't and they're just like, oh, I'm just looking at, then most times I'm not taking it as serious because it doesn't seem that they are taking it as serious. The people that are taking it serious, they're the ones, they're like, okay, I'm gonna put in something to test. I'm gonna test the deposit system. I'm gonna test, how efficient everything is. They're looking at a whole bunch of different things. They're on Zoom calls all the time. So that's very important if you want to be, for me, in my opinion, I think it's important if you want to be a person that's sharing these opportunities, you got to have some skin in the game, because somebody that's serious that you may want on your team for real, they're going to be asking you those questions. They're going to be asking, hey man, how much you guys get? If you want a BOJ on your team, if you want a Rashid on your team, we going to ask you. We're gonna ask if we're impressed by this or whatever. Chances are we're gonna ask you some questions about your involvement, and then we'll decide how much we want to be involved with you.
Yes,
honestly. My brothers, and I gotta give my shout out to my brother Jalen Smith making hits. Shout out to my little brother Jalen. He is a comedian for real. He's a play on words kind of guy. So if there's anything you ever see in the comment section from Jalen Smith making hits, understand that he's coming from a deeper level of thinking that sometimes I just don't even understand, but I give him many props to because I usually get it later when I'm driving. But anyway.
Yeah.
Got to give a quick shout out to my brother. Paul Child says, is there a link to go over this? So yes, I will be providing a link after this video. All right. So the next video that I do, I'll have my link on it. It's where I'll kind of recap. Hey, if you want some more information, jump on the live, go watch the live, get some information, and then you can come back here and get a link. We'll figure out exactly how we want to do that because I believe there are 2 links. There's a link for the founders, right? So we have about a week with that, right? And then there's a link for the more the daily earning passive side of robot leasing. So we want to make sure that that's clear and that that's concise for everyone to get. So we're not going to just drop that in here right now. But when it comes out, I'll make sure I do a video. So please just stay tuned for that video and you will be informed on where to get the links for that stuff. Tracy CT says, I joined you. However, the puzzle does not work for me. Did you you must have joined Rashid because I haven't put any links up yet.
Yeah, Rashid, I saw her name. I did see her name. And I sent and she was asked how to connect with me, and I sent my Telegram connection. But yeah, I mean, if she reaches out on Telegram, then we can connect, at that point. So we'll you just got to reach out to me. Telegram is the easiest way because I don't normally check like my emails once or twice a day or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's not a problem. I mean, if there's a specific question, because a lot of times what I get with people that are out there just looking, and like I said, maybe they've been in certain types of programs, and then this comes along, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's not that different. It just seems different, and so they get kind of lost in the sauce. But just to see, let me see. I'll try to go through, and like I said, I don't know the specific, where it's not working. It's not, the connections aren't there. One, you have a founders program, right? So from a marketing perspective, you have the founders program, which is a quarterly payout. And that takes 5% of the company's profits. And that 5% is split amongst 1,000 members. Right. And so that's the first thing. And so every quarter, whatever the profits are split amongst 1,000 positions. Now, that could be, so if somebody purchased 5, then obviously that's within those 1,000 positions. So it's not each person, it's each position. So, so everybody's gonna earn their share. So that's one piece of it. The other piece is every single day, if you become a brand ambassador, you can earn dividends every single day based on the robot leasing and based on the robot purchases from whoever purchases or leases, not from the brand ambassador, but from the customer that they do business with. And you're going to just earn profits off of it because you are obviously investing in the company.
Right.
And that, and then you have the tokens. So there are CAM 3DCP tokens that you can earn as a founder. You get 50,000 per share.
Yeah.
And you can buy them directly if you like. One BNB gets you about, I think, 10,000. So, and that's the program.
And I think that kind of tackled the next question from Truth Media. She says, or he or she says, the robot leasing plan is the passive side, but you can also, that's a question. I think that they were asking, the robot leasing plan is the passive side, but you can also share and get others to join the robot leasing plan as well. Is that correct?
Yes, 15 levels of it.
Yep. So there you go. So that answers that question. Jalen Smith making his says, footage of the robot application would be worth real capital, especially at the end of construction. So he's pretty much saying that he'd love to see a finished product, and when the finished product is cut, is ready to go, cut the ribbon,
Right.
And I do believe they're having an event sometime soon. I think I heard on a call where they will be inviting some people to come and see the process of how that kind of works. I don't know that I'll be able to, but this leads into the next one. RG, my guy, the RLG Trading, Lomax Glover, G Trader himself, right? He says, did you say there was an office in Manchester? Because the G Trader is from Manchester. And if you know anything about the G Trader, he will pull up.
He will.
He will pull up. If it's in his area, he will pull up. So
Absolutely.
you know, they did definitely say that, G Trader. So you'd be an asset, brother. You know, if you were able to go and you know, visit the facilities, that's just another part of third-party credibility that we can continue to use as validation for this amazing opportunity. So keep that in mind, and keep your schedule open to take a visit and take some videos, bro, because you might be calling you in to do that. And I think, yes, Jalen Smith, you're right. The puzzle, as in the CAPTCHA, whatever. I'm not sure if it's actually called CAPTCHA for everything, but I know there's different securities where you have to move a little puzzle piece, and it verifies whether you're a human or a robot. So for those of you that didn't know that, that's what the puzzle either working or not working. Usually when I hear people talking about that, they're talking about that form of verification. That's like a robot. Are you a robot type of deal?
Yeah.
It's just to verify that you're actually a human. Truth Media says, when are you going to be sharing your link, BOJ, so we can get in? Very shortly. I can't wait too long. I obviously can't wait too long. So we're going to make sure we do that. I know I probably have about 20 minutes or less with you, Coach Rashid. So I wanted to bounce off of Cam Hurst. I think we've got a lot of great information on Cam Hurst today. So we can always come back and touch back and do another. He's going to be doing Zoom calls and different things of that nature going forward. I'll probably have a Telegram group set up for Cam Hurst so that people can get information on those Zoom calls at the very least, so you can tune in. Of course, there are some very time-sensitive things that are going on right now. We have another week to become a founder if you want to do so, all right? And I believe you can have up to 5 positions. Is that correct, or are they just allowing you to have 1?
No, yeah, I mean, however many. I think they're just
5?
Yeah, you can still do that.
Okay. All right. So that's going to be great. For those of you that are looking for a link to that, just stay tuned to the channel. And as long as you're subscribed, as long as you hit the notification bell, you won't miss a thing. Now, Coach Rashid, before we get out of here, there's a platform that I have talked about, and a little bit more sparingly recently, especially over the last few months, or last half a year almost feels like now. Fusion Experience. Now, Fusion Experience was a platform that came to us. I'm not even exactly sure the time frame, but I believe it was last year, at some point last year. No, it said November, and we got involved, and we were excited about what it could do. You know, it was linked to MetaMask and all these different things. It was arbitrage trading, all the stuff that we were excited about at that time. There was a lot of talk about arbitrage trading and different things. It almost was like the trend of our niche, right?
Yeah.
So I got involved. You know, we of course hit the leaderboard. The minimums were low, so many people could get involved. I'll be honest, I wasn't that impressed with how the Zoom calls were running at that time. It just didn't seem to compare to some of the other platforms that I was in the way that it was run in professionalism. You know, there was times where, you know, the head guy, I forget his name right now off the top of my head.
Raphael?
Raphael, yes, he would call people to the stand and nobody would show. Whoever he called wouldn't show up, and it had like 2, 3, 4 people that he called. Nobody would show up. So I was just like, okay, well, maybe this just isn't getting the right attention. So we let it kind of go. It went through some transitional things. The withdrawal seemed a little bit crazy because there was like an hour that you had to withdraw if you were going to do it. And that's pretty, I mean, even if you let people know, right? Sure. Even if you let people know from Jump Street, that's a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
You really got to be locked into this platform like it's your only thing if you're going to catch this hour window. And in my head, it would seem like everyone trying to withdraw at 1 hour span of time would have caused a whole bunch of issues. So we kind of dialed back, right? We kept our links up because it wasn't official that they went away or anything like that, but we dialed back, right? So then I see that Coach Rashid has taken some leadership position, right? And I'll leave it at that. I won't say exactly what it is. I'll leave that to you, but a more leadership position. So to me, they added another person. They already had some people with some credibility in the space prior to, you know, some we've worked with, some are good friends of ours right now. But when they added you, it really kind of made me reconsider what this was, because I know you know what this space is.
Yeah.
I know that you have a certain level of expectation from the things that you are involved with. And it wasn't just you being a passive person or just somebody doing videos or, you know, it wasn't like that. You were involved in the Zoom calls. They brought you up to speak. You're giving insight yourself on what this is doing in your own belief. So when that did that, you know, and then you reached out to me and said, hey man, hey look, we're in a different spot now.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, all right. Because it's you. And because it's you, I'm gonna give it a second look. And what I've seen is I've seen steady growth. I've seen steady return. I've seen things that I necessarily wasn't seeing. And I'm not a person that was doing a whole bunch of withdrawals from it or anything like that. I just let it ride. Yeah. But just in, I guess, you know, I know Lambo's gonna get on me because he talking about he want to be on here for another 5-6 hours. I ain't got time for that, Lambo. Listen, we both got other stuff to do, okay? But can you just touch on what brought you to Fusion? What allowed you to feel that comfortability to take on leadership in the way that you've done it? And what do you see that's different now that you're a part of it? And what you're excited about the future? I know there's like 4 very big, large questions to try to answer in a short amount of time. But if you could do the best that you can, we'd appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Ooh, excuse me. Wow. So the major move for me, and a lot of stuff that you said, you know, because we're in this space, we don't have the fear. Like I said, I did a video about FOMO. I mean, it's not existent when you're diversified. Yeah. Right. So you're not gonna just make me jump over here or jump over there just because. Right. So just because a platform decided they had to shut down for some reason, a lot of people didn't know the reason. Mm-hmm. And so being in this space, if that happens, our first mind is, well, it's gone. Like some people panic, you know, and some people are like, oh my gosh, let me get my money out and all this. And then that did happen. But then at the same time, like I said, with yourself, myself, and a few others, we just said, okay, well, I got, you know, 10 other things I'm working on. If it comes back, great. If it don't, oh okay. Yep. So, you know, kept it moving. And so I left it and I just, you know, diverted my attention elsewhere. And somewhere down the road, I'm contacted, like I said, just different programs. You meet different people, and I have some good people over in Kenya and South Africa that I've been working with in another program. And they weren't even in my downline or nothing like that. It's just, you know, I'm doing presentations. They show up. They learn a lot from it. Yeah. And so we built that relationship. And one day they were like, look, can we get on a call? And this is kind of opened the window to why I got back to Fusion Experience. Yeah. So when we're talking, they're like, look, the guy in this program we were in currently at that time, he was leading them and you know, whatever. She said he brought us into a previous program and basically came to Kenya and just, I mean, we got all these people together and literally the company was on its last leg. They didn't even make that known. They didn't make any bones about it. They just asked for money. Yeah. And so they basically, you know, ripped people off while a company was going down. And so very disturbing. So they told me about that. And you got to, you know, you got people that are teachers, professors, you know, professionals, and they're out there, you know, pitching this. And now they got to face the music. And it's like, ah, dog, man, that's tough. Yeah. So this was happening with some other program. And so they were like, look, we don't want to deal with him ever again. He's trying to get us to do this. And, you know, we really need to make our money back, but we don't trust him. Yeah. And I said, look, what do you have something that is different from any of this? Like something that we can get started. We got to build our confidence. That's where Fusion Experience was for me. I said, okay, $10 minimum. And excuse me. But just like you, I still felt like, dude, you're not offering enough to even compete with anything else in the system. Like, right. I can't promote this. Right. But I'm thinking about the people that I know that that's not just them. I'm saying there's probably a lot of people out there that's been burnt, and they need something, just the simplest thing to just build that confidence back.
Yeah.
So that's where I started, right, with that conversation. And I'm like, my God, I said, I can't sleep. I can't let this go.
Yeah.
So that's when I went back and I said, okay, the site's still up. I'm like, man, okay, nothing. I didn't see no movement, no trading, nothing. But I'm like, it's still here. So I'm like, let me reach out and see what's going on. And so I think I reached out to Raphael.
Yeah.
And I just asked a question like, hey, what's going on? What's the status? And somehow got a response. Like I said, it's been so long, I'm not sure exactly, but we did kind of go back and forth.
Yeah.
And so he was like, hey, I've seen your videos. I really want some help. We're going to relaunch, but we need, quality people. And he says that you just seem to want to help people.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, all right, cool. So I'm talking to him, and all I'm remembering is, dude, this is a brand. I can't promote what the numbers. I said, it's not going to work. Yeah. And so I had to understand. Yeah. So he literally, Raphael, he got on the phone. I got on a call with Raphael, Mr. Bobby, which is the developer. I think he's really the brains behind the whole thing. Dr. Dennis, of course, just passion, man. He has so much passion. Yeah. So they were talking, and they said, look, we're going to let, and I had a leader from Kenya. She was on as well. Yeah. And we were talking, and they were laying out, this is what happened. We had to shut down for security reasons, because there were breaches, and there was attempted breaches by some of the people that we trusted before. Yeah. So the people that were out front, they were putting pressure on them in the back. They had a breach in two different areas. One was with the dollar verification. Excuse me. Oh man, sorry about that. So you had the when they were using the merchant account, they were using Stripe, right? There was an issue there. And so that's why they changed it and said, look, we're going to give you your dollar back, and we're going to go over here and do crypto. So everybody had to do that. And it just never worked out. It just became a problem from there forward. Yeah. Then they had people that were, it was crazy, like straight up hacking. So when that window, this is where the withdrawal window thing comes. Yeah. When they had it open, somehow, somewhere, there were people stealing the withdrawal addresses. And so when they would send some funds, and this happened during when they were refunding, they were supposed to be refunding people, and they were allowing people to withdraw. It wasn't that much. It was just a little, but it was a lot of people. Right. So you're talking maybe 100,000 or something like that over, the course of all the people that was doing withdrawals. Right. Some of them literally got diverted for this hack or something like this. So a lot of people were like, where's my money? Right. And they were like, we sent it. Like, I don't know. Yep. Yep. And so they had to shut it down. They was like, we couldn't even defend. The money was gone. And they were like, we had to find out what happened. Right. And so that was part of it. And then there were people that they had as leaders that they had trusted to promote and do those things. Yeah. They said, look, when we are profitable, then obviously you'll get a share. Right. They sent, it was like, look, you guys don't look, this is what we were being sent. This is what they were demanding of us. They were straight up demanding them to pay like now, or give us the names. And that was one of the biggest things. They actually had people that were trying to change the password on the admin of the Zoom account and a couple of things. Because they would get the confirmation, like, do you want to change? And they were like, who is this? Right. So these are things they were literally showing us and I was like, my God. So now I'm like, I get it. Like you had to shut down in order to restart. Yeah. And I said, what happens in this space when you shut down? They were like, absolutely. But we are absolutely confident that we have the best program. Yeah. We just got to get back going. And they were just never shaken on, oh, we will be the best in this industry.
That's one thing that I've noticed, just even in the text, like, just in being in the Telegram group, one thing that I can tell is consistent is they've always said that they wanted to be the best. Not necessarily that they wanted to compete. They wanted to dominate. There we go. They use that, and the athlete inside of me, what I'm saying, the underdog inside of me, I felt that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I just wasn't seeing, I wasn't seeing what they were saying, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
I just wasn't seeing it from, and then when you got involved, so I'm glad that you took some time to speak on that. I've never taken any of the links down, even during their transition. I don't think I have. I might have. No, I don't think I have. I think I left it alone because we were just kind of waiting to see. Like you said, we have a bunch of other things going on. We kind of just pivot and move to the things that are working and serving us, and then if things come back, then great. If they don't, we kind of move on. So I'm excited to hear that Fusion is back on the right track. I know there are some things, and here are some numbers for you guys. Go ahead, Coach. You want to go ahead and drop them on them?
So yeah, just real quick. So they did relaunch March 25th. I'm gonna tell you, I was working with them a couple of months, having calls and all this and that, and I still believe that they were at the 1% or something like that. I didn't even realize I was taking the information wrong. And so
yeah,
as I was talking with them and going back and forth, I said, you know what, I just want to support you guys. I just want to be there, launch, and let's do good, by people, because I felt the integrity was there. I felt that they were solid with their intentions. And so that was why I stayed the course. I wasn't concerned about earning that much. I just felt like this is just a good place to ride with these guys. And then over time, okay, I'm sure that it will increase. People will see that they're solid. They've been around, they're sticking around. They're going to be here for the long term. So I just rode with them on that piece of it. And then about 2 or 3 days before literally going live, we had a call and they said, got any questions? And I was like, man, I said, look, something bothered me. I said, am I missing something here? Because is it on, am I getting 3 to 5% on the profits, or am I getting 3 to 5% on the capital? And they were like, no, we posted it up, on your account. So when you first log in, it gives you all the updates. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I hadn't even read it. And he was like, no, it's on your capital. And I'm like, wait a minute. I said, so you're telling me that I was thinking it was on your profit, which, because that's what it was before. And that's why I was like 1% or something. And I'm like, that's crazy. Right. But it's on the capital. And I said a minimum of 3 to 5. I'm like, what? I was like, let's go.
Yeah.
Because now you can compete. Now you're that's in that space, right? The Novatex, the funds, you're there. So that's at least we're on par. Then the first week, boom, I calculated it. It was right about 3.0 something. I said, all right, cool. Then the next week, like I said, 3.4, 3.5, 3.03, 3.59. It just kept going. And I'm like, yo, this is amazing. Yep. Now, and I say that to say this, I'm going to look at the market. I'm looking at the industry. I see the top, like I said, you got your funds, you got your Novatex. Well, no, well, it's different.
Yeah, we a little different.
And then you got,
what you're saying.
So I'm just saying. But, they've been a staple for a long time, so I can't take it away from them. Yeah. And then, you got your Daisy, right? And Daisy has done, I consider it pulled a fast one, but they gave you, hey, look, we've taken care of you all this time, and now we're adjusting, right? Yeah. Okay, but Fusion Experience started and continued to be consistent. Yeah. And they're about to do something much better. And that's what's phenomenal. So one of the major things that they're doing right now, we have very large investments that is closing on the 15th of this month. Then they're saying, look, you got 60 days maximum, talking the end of August, starting July, end of August, to get your deposits in. If you want to be part of the trading platform, then get it in. This is long term. And I'm gonna tell you guys something that like I said, I don't talk about on the live Zooms, but I do Wednesday and Saturdays. But there's a great possibility, foot stump. There's a boom. A great possibility that it will be more than the 3.4% that you see here after they close off the deposits in the next 60 days. Okay. Yeah. So it's more control. The numbers are going to be much higher. They're able to adjust. They looking at other strategies. Arbitrage was first. They added from arbitrage, they went through multiple strategies, commodities. They got gold in there. They're doing a lot of different things. And Mr. Bobby, the developer, he's saying that think of it as a hedge fund. We're growing different products and different plans, and they're going to be offered to you. And so if you come into the Fusion experience, then you're able to pick 2 or 3 of those, and those are the ones that you invest in. Then, you know, so they're going to be able to manage that. So that's why they have to stop this one, let it grow in the background, but they don't have the heavy management of it, and they can go ahead and add some of the other really powerful plays as well. So awesome. That's all I can, you know, I don't want to go, like I said, I'm not.
Hey, we don't want you to tell too much, but you know, just enough for the people that are out there. Listen, if you thought Fusion was dead, 1, it's not. 2, they are continuously adjusting and pivoting, and I think that's something that with communication, coupled with communication, can be stomached. You know what I'm saying? We can deal with that. As long as Fusion is talking to us, as long as they're saying stuff and they're, you know, they don't have to tell us everything, you know, but what they do have to do is just let us know in what ways and directions they're going to pivot. And I know that adding you is going to at least keep that pressure on communication. You know what I'm saying? Because that's one of the things that we want to continue to see. Even if a platform is not doing good, just let people know. Just say something. You know, you don't have to, and I understand people aren't going to be as honest as we can be. It just isn't going to happen that way in this industry. But if there's one request I have of Fusion is to whatever happens, whatever pivots happens, whatever changes happen, as long as they communicate them, even if I miss the communication, I want to be able to go back and say, well, you guys did say that, so that's on me. Yeah. I can take accountability for wherever my shortcomings are. But if a platform that we're spending time and we're talking about is not communicating, it makes it very hard to have its back or continue it to give it a positive type of outlook in this niche and industry that we're in. And that's the only little bit of nugget that I'll drop out there in the Novatech world in this video. Okay, the lack of communication has just gotten to the point where it makes it hard to have Novatech's back. So I hope that there's a lot of platforms out there that understand some of the things that you're seeing and watching out of other platforms that are either succeeding or not succeeding. We all need to pay attention to each other so we can learn and continue to go forward. I want to just drop a few more of these comments in here, and brother, I'm not going to hold you too much longer.
Oh, we're good. We're good.
Let's see. Lambo always got something awesome to say. So Fusion is definitely making a huge rebound. That's from Lambo. Truth Media says that gives me hope that maybe some of our other platforms like your former #1 can come back. We'll see. You know, only time will tell. And y'all know I say that all the time. I'm not holding out on hope for any of them because one thing me and Coach Rashid talked about, I think it was just yesterday we talked about this. Forever, as long as we decide to have a little bit of pay attentionness and network in this industry, there will always be opportunities.
Oh man,
there will never be a shortage of opportunity in this space. Not that I can tell. With the people that we're connected to, with the relationships that we've built over this time, I don't foresee there ever being a shortage of opportunity. So if one goes away, just learn how to pivot like we have. If that's not something that you have added to your tool belt, that the ability to adjust and pivot, figure out how to get that a part of your tool belt, because that's going to allow you to move like water through this space. You know, there's a lot of times we're not as stressed as you guys, and it's not because we have 50 billion referrals and all that stuff. That helps. Not that either of us have 50 billion referrals, but it's because we understand the space and we understand what's important in this space, and adjusting and pivoting is one of the most important things. So I have to put that out there. Good. So Lambo says a good question with those numbers would be, what's a better play, Fusion or funds? Now,
I'm not here to do that.
Not going to do that, Lambo. I'm going to say, why not both? Why not diversify? You know what I'm saying? Why not find a way to be a part of both? That's what I usually try to do. All right. So I can only tell people what I try to do. And Coach C, you're nodding your head. Sounds like you try to do the same thing. We're diversity kings over here. We try to find the way to be a part of it all and learn from it all. Passive income demand says Fusion is coming back strong and 1 withdrawal per month.
Yes.
Stuff to say.
Every 4 weeks. Yep.
That is a sustainable thing. Now let me ask you really quickly: is that in a certain time frame, or it's clocked as you've done your one withdrawal this month, and now you have to wait 30 days, or you have to wait till the 1st, or how does that work?
It's every 4 weeks they open up that day. It's normally a Friday. It's
Okay.
normally that's why they say every 4 weeks, because I say once a month, but it's like I try to be specific. Every 4 weeks is what they say in the meetings. So you have that day to go ahead and do your withdrawals that day.
Cool.
Yeah.
Someone asked for my Fusion experience link. It is in the description. You just got to scroll down a little bit. For those of you that haven't been able to find some of the links, you just had to click on more. And I know there's 50,000 things down there, but you got to just pay a little attention, scroll, take it one thing at a time. You'll find it. It's down there. Lambo says Daisy is still a good project, but yes, only a 4% for the month of June. They are still 994% up within a year and a half. So, you know, I'll be light on Daisy for their 4% month of June because of a 994% year and a half.
It's all good, Lambo. It's all good. Look, I say it all the time. I want people to win. Hey, right. Look, I'm gonna choose programs that's aligned with my values and my ideology, and I support everybody else that do the same thing.
That's right.
And you know, so definitely Daisy is still the winner.
That's what it's all about. You find what's working for you, whatever you have the bandwidth for. There's going to be some things I have bandwidth for that Coach doesn't. You know, there's going to be some things that Coach has bandwidth for that I don't. But it's all about us finding a way to win. And whatever that way is for you, without having to tear people down and be negative and go against, you know, rules and regulation or in some capacity. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Let's just do it the right way.
Yes, sir.
My guy G Trader says I need 3 tool belts at the moment. Hey man, I heard
got a lot of programs.
Yeah, you do. You might have to strap one across your shoulder. You might have to have a tool belt like across your forehead. One on your ankle like a holster. You might just have to have tool belts all over the place. You might have to have tool belt draws.
You got a lot of them.
Kung Tech Fu says that's why we always need to make ROI a priority. There are many rug pulls that I usually come out okay because I ROI before I compound 9 times out of 10. So here's one thing that I've been, and I'll kind of sum up what I think that means. People aren't withdrawing.
Right.
And they, from a very basic standpoint, they get so wrapped up about compounding, and we love compounding, right? 8th wonder of the world, right? But in this space, with the amount of risk that there is in these platforms, if you think that you, from day one, you just compound, you never withdraw, and then somewhere 3, 4, 5 years down the line, you'll be able to pop in there and be a billionaire. No, you got the game messed up. You do. And I'm here to let you know right now, if you don't test withdrawals, if you're not an active participant in this industry, if you're not out here sharing, you need to be withdrawn as often as possible. That would be my risk management strategy if I was, and that actually was before I was a person that got a whole bunch of referrals and affiliate commissions and things of that nature. I got into these hypes and I withdrew every opportunity that I could because I understood it's a timing thing with some of this stuff. And if you're not actively sharing, your chances of getting back into the black, they either are there. It's a lot more risk or it's going to take a lot more time. So with those things, you know, put out there, compounding is great. We love compounding. We love the compounding calculator. We love all that stuff. It allows us to think about a future of better finances. And I'm all for that. We can fall in love with what the opportunities can get us, but we can't fall in love with the opportunity itself.
100%.
So just got to drop that. Lambo, we got like 2 minutes, bro. You want to talk about GS Partners and VORTIC? What are our thoughts? We got to, bro. You're gonna have to get on our Patreon and pay for 4 hours, Lambo. That's what you're gonna have to do. but all honesty, I'll drop that on you, Coach. I know there's a few other platforms that you're in, and you don't have to talk about GS Partners or VORTIC, but if there's some you want to just name drop so that those that want to go to your channel and check out your content, they'll know, you know what I'm saying, what's going on over there, which he does have a channel, y'all. If y'all didn't know, he does have a YouTube channel. Y'all should go check it out.
Now the Lambo, man, you're something else. Man. Yeah, you know what? Hey, just so you know, I'm not gonna let the cat out the bag, but Yeah, me and Lambo, we working on something as well. So, you know, definitely I'm trying to collaborate with all my my buddies in this space, man. Just absolute leaders. I learned so much, from the interaction and just watching. So I'm looking forward to more of this. So some of the other, I saw your video yesterday, GPBOTS.
Yeah.
Man, that was so funny, man. I'm telling you, this is like the third or fourth time, BOJ. I will be sitting there and I just get the information from whoever, partner that sent it to me, and I'm reviewing it, and it's like 2 a.m. And I'm like, okay, I said, man, you know what? Let me look at it again tomorrow. And then I see your video and I'm like, what? I'm like, we must have been looking at it at the same time. I was cracking up because I've seen it before, but I was like, I'll get around to it.
Yeah, I had got a couple emails, and I field the emails, but if it's not coming from somebody that I usually talk to about platforms, I'm usually like, I either brush by it or whatever. But G-Trader hit me up like, bro, have you seen this? So I was like, all right, let me check it out. And I was interested in another kind of instant kind of cranker that's going on, and if it does what it says it does, then it's one opportunity that we have in that realm.
Yeah, it looks good. It's funny because a good British friend of mine is who sent it to me as well. So but he's a good friend. He's in Dubai. He actually got me into Cash FX back in the day, and so I'm like, he's like, yeah, man, we haven't done anything in so long. Take a look at this. And I'm like, he said, just get a spot. I got you. And I was like, okay. So I still don't understand it all. I just was like, all right, just cool, click. But no, right now, so here's one thing I'll say, without, like I said, going into too many, is, I've narrowed down, and like I talked with I think on the Lambo Juice show, not recently, I talked about my final 4, and I'm trying to narrow it down to these final 4 that I want to work on like diligently. And what I've done kind of strategy wise over the last year, I have, different plays and moves that have gotten me to a point where, and it just is funny when I talk about it on the video, was like, there's no FOMO. So the reason why I don't have FOMO is I did the work, did the strategy, got to a point where I have what I call the bank, and that bank fuels everything. So when something comes up, I don't be like, oh my gosh, I wish I could do it.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I've built up to a point where I can do it. That's because I'm in position to do that. And that's what I'm trying to, I've organized, and I sent out invitations to, like I said, 10 or 12 people. I have about 20 people that I've really been working with, in some time, and some a little more than others. So I really narrowed it down, and I said, I'm going to work with these people hand in hand. We're going to roll like for the next 6 months. I'm not taking on new projects. Every time I say that, something else pops up.
Yeah, something.
So I'm just
we gotta tread lightly with that statement. I felt the same way. I was like, I'm good. My docket is full. Then Cam Hurst come around like, dang. I'm gonna need something to fall. I'm over here talking about I need something to fall off so I can go ahead.
That's so funny because I look for something like, oh, it's not working. Oh, good.
Oh yeah. All right, now we can talk about good. Cam Hurst, come on in. Yeah, you come on.
Oh my God. So you got to have some kind of way to, like I said, to fit it in. And I got to replace something. I don't want to add. So, but what I've done, and I think that's where the longer plays are starting to make more sense. Yeah. So when you talk about nodes, so back in the day, right, just transition so much in the last couple of years. It's like now when I look at a node project, it's like, wait a minute, okay, the node, that's a license to basically print money, so to speak, but you got to have the right one. So people used to ask about, like with Saphir, for instance, Saphir Global, Saphir Group now is Saphir 2.0. They've come back with something stronger and better. I've been in that since June 2021, and it's continued to pay. Right. It's a massive, I've made more in that program than any other program I've been in. Yeah. And it's phenomenal. It's blockchain based out of Dubai. Zenique Technologies is the actual research and development company, and they are really focused on tokenization. So major thing in my platform. But since it's based on tokenization and nodes, that's long term. That's like shares in a company. You know, it's just got to grow. And they're taking on, like I said, everything that they've taken on has been the first. And it's phenomenal what they're doing. But it's long term. And a lot of people just couldn't grasp that. So of course they come in, they get excited, and then they're like, okay, we're waiting for the price to go up. Yeah, that's kind of part of the program. And so, you know, we go off and do other things.
Right.
But for me, it's still a staple. So I don't go off and be like, forget it. No.
Yeah.
You know, I'm still working. I still purchase some nodes when they get some new ones coming in. I'm like, let's keep it growing. So, so that one is a staple, right? And then the FAIR project. So the FAIR project is just fire. So if you know DebtBox and how powerful that asset back, you know, node was with their particular projects. Black Gold was obviously the hottest thing that they had. Nat G is another one. Grow, aluminum. Those, they have some really powerful things. They were one that, like I said, was timing. And so when you hit it right on time, people are looking at these tokens, and there's all these meme tokens and Mickey Mouse tokens, and you know, you're like, nah, I'm good. But then when something comes along that says asset back, you're like, oh, wait a minute, commodity back. So it seems like it's new and it's what you were looking for, even though that's always, like I said, Saphir's been doing it for the last 2.5 years. But these guys come along and they promoted it. They got oil rigs. They're like, look, come out here, check out the oil rig. This is where, you know, we're going to back those tokens with this. Oh, everybody jumps in. Well, the FAIR project, some of the multimillionaires that came from that started the FAIR project, which is blockchain, AI, and healthcare. Okay. So they're using the pharmaceutical industry in order to, same business model, but the difference is they're looking for an exit. So you're talking traditional type mentality. They're partnered with an actual pharmaceutical company that is looking to exit with a particular medicine or product. And so they have AI software that they've set up to give them the best opportunity and say, okay, out of all of these, we've narrowed it down to this one that we believe will exit. 86% will have an exit over $1 billion. Then they take it to actual people and that's been in that space. And they say, yeah, this makes sense. We've seen this before. We believe this is going to happen. This is the next, you know, vaccine for COVID or whatever. And so when that exit happens, they say sometimes it's 12 to 18 months, sometimes it's up to 4 years. But when it does, you're talking $1 billion exit. So that's a long play. You purchase some nodes and you just, so I, you know, it's nothing active about it. It's just a matter of letting it grow. So those, you know, so those things are really kind of, so what I've done is I've taken some of the key ones that have that daily ROI, that have low entry, some have a higher entry. I'm trying to get people into position to understand the difference between $100 entry and $1,000 entry, and then a $10,000 entry. Right. Where do you want to be? Because if you want to attain some level of income that you can wake up and say, oh my gosh, that $100 is not going to do it for you. You've got to stretch yourself to say, I have to go in at a certain level. But so my job is what I believe is to prepare them to believe in themselves, believe in what they have, and to believe in where we're going. That's right. So I already have the platform set up for that. There's a couple are new. So I'm not gonna really push those, but the ones that are solid, there's a couple of private plays that we know about that I'm saying, you know what? Some of them literally, I know they're legit, like they're here for the long haul. So definitely bring that into the fold. So that's what I'm working on, man, is really narrowing it down and saying, let's focus on this. I have a mastermind I've been doing a mastermind once a month for the last probably 4 or 5 months. So going forward, I'm going to do that and just narrow it down to like these core people. Let's do this. Commitment has to be there. Accountability has to be there. And it doesn't cost, nobody, I'm not getting paid directly. No, I'm not, from a coaching perspective, I just want people to win and do just do, here's my example. And if you can do that and you can duplicate that, then get that level of success. So at the 6 months, we got use cases that says it works. And that's what I'm looking to just put some smiles on some faces and change some lives.
That's awesome, man. That's so awesome. I gotta press this. I gotta press the applause button, just one good time for that. Because I mean, in all honesty, and I won't take too much time from this, but we're a little bit different. It's not that I don't want to help people. I don't know that I start with, here's what I'll say. I start with my family first. You know, I'm gonna start with my dad. I'm gonna start with my brother. I'm gonna start with my boys. Like, I'm gonna start with them, right? Just to make sure that as I move, I'm starting with my wife. You know, as we move as a unit that's already together, then we can start branching off from that. Because I'm really trying to set up the pillars for my family to make sure that we can do the things that we set out to do. You know, on top of that, I want to go over some of these. There was 2 super chats in here that I just can't let go by. Unlimited Freedom, shout out to you, my brother. He said, BOJ, Coach Rashid, and Lambo, shout out to you guys, man. And he dropped a proverb in here: as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23:7. Let's go. And then we had a super chat, which is the first official super chat from Truth Media here on the channel. We got to show some special love to Truth Media. Thank you for the super chat as well. Coach Rashid, thank you so much for your time. I know there's so many other questions that can be answered today, and we're going to save that for the exclusive video for you and Lambo on his channel and your channel. I'll be a Lambo exclusive. And I wasn't prepared for 4 hours. I wasn't prepared for 10. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be 2 is my max usually. But Coach, you've dropped so many nuggets today. Just to recap everything, Cam Hurst, ladies and gentlemen, I will be bringing the information for that, the links and all that over the next 24 to 48 hours, because I know that is very time sensitive. But there are 2 links that you want to make sure that you have understanding on where they lead. There's a founders link, which is very, very time sensitive, and then you have the more of the passive daily earner, which is the robot leasing, which you will have the opportunity to be a part of as well if you want to. Fusion Experience is still going strong. They are making some adjustments and some pivots, but what they have continued to do is stay present and communicative, and they are dedicated to dominating this space. All right. And then on top of that, master the invitation to the information, people.
Wow.
You don't have to be the person bringing the information like me and Coach. All you got to do is say, BOJ and Coach are over here, or BOJ and Coach told me to come over here, so I'm telling you to come over here. It doesn't even really have to be that long and drawn out. If you want to have a script and be professional and all that great stuff, that's on you. But you know your market better than we would know. You know how to talk to your people. Yep. So talk to them how you know to talk to them to make them move. All right. If you missed out on Cam Hurst, you're going to have to go and you're going to have to run it back, because we spent a good hour on Cam Hurst, and you're going to have to run that thing back. But so much great information about how we are going to play a huge part in solving the housing crisis and the homeless crisis and some of the concrete crisis I didn't even know about that's here. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be touched on. And of course, we are here to earn and crank that crypto at its very general state. Thank you so much, Coach, for joining us today. I want to clap it up for you one more time.
And I appreciate that, man.
And y'all give it up for Coach Rashid. I did pin your YouTube there, Rashid Next Level. So those of you that want to follow Coach, I suggest all of you, all right? I don't tell nobody what to do, but I'm telling y'all today, go and subscribe to Coach's channel. You'll get a wealth of information. And some of the things that are a little over my head, he completely understands. So there's going to be another level. I ain't got a cap with you, Coach. I ain't got a cap with you. You know, he's going to give a different level of insight that I think a lot of you will appreciate. So you definitely want to make sure you get over there. Coach, thank you for sharing your time with us, and your cameo from your beautiful daughter as well. Shout out to the little ones. We love the kids over here, man. And as soon as I got some little ones running around, they're going to be all up on the camera. I already know. So I gotta prep myself and take notes. But thank you so much for your time. Any last words you want to leave with the community before we get on out of here?
I definitely want to, for the people that I put the information out there, and definitely in my Telegram groups and Facebook, the ones that took the time, because it could be their work schedule, it could be their traveling, and I never, and I'm gonna tell you, I repeat this all the time, I never will obligate anyone to make a decision that's beyond their means. You don't have to be in my program. You could be in any program. If you say, Rashid, I want to work with you, You could be with, I had somebody yesterday literally that said, I sent them an invitation because they've been on my calls and they were like, hey, look, I have another mentor. Is it a conflict? I said, look, if you study any of the people out there that's doing great things, they have multiple mentors.
That's right.
They have multiple coaches, right? So you're going to get something different from everybody. I said, you don't have to join anything. I'm here to provide a service. And I said, maybe in the future, I'll monetize it in a different way. But right now, I feel like everybody needs to be involved in a way that they can, attain those goals and things that they dreamed of. I said, we're it's a shift right now. And in the fourth industrial revolution is just, another way to kind of address it.
Yeah.
But we are really sitting at the cusp of so much wealth that is shifting right into our hands.
Yes.
If you don't grab a hold to it, what else can we do? Like, Lambo Drew is putting information out there and giving us a platform to have these conversations.
Yeah.
This right here, like me and BOJ, we've been doing this for a long time.
That's right.
So now we're all like coming together. What are we doing it for? So you can benefit.
That's right.
We are serving the community, right? There are people out there providing so much negative stuff. There are people that are providing things that they know will not work.
Yeah.
Because it's selfish. We're not here to be selfish. We're here to say, look, what can we do for you? I'm gonna tell you, you don't see me doing videos every day. Like, man, BOJ be pumping them out. I'm just like, see, and like you said, BOJ, your why, like, and we don't have to sit up here and put a title to it.
Yeah.
But your why, that energy is because of, like I said, when you talk about your dad, man, my dad passed in 2019. And I got his picture for his the memorial and everything. Yeah. And I always say, Dad, I'm gonna finish this.
Yep.
I'm gonna finish this.
Yep.
Right. And it's serious, man. Like I'm committed. But I said, I know I gotta serve. So the money is always gonna come, but that's secondary. That's like you're gonna wake up one day and it will be there. But guess what? You didn't chase it. So when it appears, you don't chase it. You just continue doing the things that you do.
That's right.
Impact society, impact lives. And that's like you said, them kids, dude, that's, man, oh my gosh. I dream, this is the last thing I'm gonna say. my, and I don't know if it's a dream or whatever, but that feeling from a father, I'm kind of traditional when it comes to it. Walking in from work, got a briefcase in hand, and open the door. When you hear the pitter patter of them feet, when them kids run and they say, "Daddy," oh, this is those late nights. Be studying those programs between 12 a.m. and 3 and 4 a.m. Trying to edit videos because I be doing crazy stuff in the video. Dude, it's because they are going to benefit all of their future.
That's right.
Unlimited options is the theme. Ignite your fire with unlimited options is the theme for Team Achieve Prosperity Club. Yes. The 10 or 12 people that's in it will benefit. That's my goal. That's my dream. All right, darling. So thank you, BOJ. Thank you so much. I thank everybody that took the time to come on. Thank you.
Yes, thank you all of Coach's people. Thank you guys for joining us. All of our BOJ family, thank you guys for joining us and support for Coach Rashid and myself. I'm gonna leave out of here, and I gotta leave on a Lambo comment. And this is funny just because shout out to my guy Duke, just met him in Georgia.
Yeah.
Duke is still waiting on his 18-hour one-on-one coaching mentorship with Coach Rashid. I just had to end it with that because do y'all see how absurd this is Lambo, this is a family, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? And this is the family that we chose, Coach Rashid. So much love to you, Lambo. Much love to Duke, man. Shout out. Nice to meet you down there in Georgia. We thank you all for your time today. Coach, thank you so much. And we'll be talking soon because we got to get these links out, right?
Yes, sir.
I gotta get these links out, right? Let me get to it. Thank you guys for joining, Coach. I'll see you later. I'll be talking to you later on the day, man. Thank you so much.
Take care.